Chapter 1421. Something seems a little off. Trading Center. Yu Qing was leisurely sitting at the central counter, resting her chin in her hands, thinking about something. Most of the time, the trading center handles transactions independently. Even if staff are needed, there are many in the trading center. There aren't many things that would bother her. Yu Qing is mostly free. A shadow loomed over. Someone came to the counter. Yu Qing raised her head and saw the person, and couldn't help but be startled. The other person's face was fierce, as if they were going to eat someone. Yu Qing's face paled with fright. "You, what are you going to do?" Lin Moyu was also startled by Yu Qing's reaction. Was he that scary? When he saw Kai Huo back then, he felt that he was indeed a bit fierce, but he was actually a good person. Lin Moyu said, "I'm looking for Yu Zhu." Yu Qing came back to her senses, calmed herself, and refused. "Miss Yu Zhu is busy. If you want to make a large transaction, I can arrange other traders for you." Lin Moyu asked, "Is Yu Zhu very busy?" "I can wait." Yu Qing shook her head. "No need to wait, Miss Yu Zhu won't trade with you." Seeing how straightforward she was, Lin Moyu roughly guessed the reason. "Miss Yu Qing, take a look at who I am." He temporarily activated the authority of the Human Emperor Network, revealing his name. "What's so good about looking at you?" Yu Qing muttered. She was startled at first, but then she hadn't looked Lin Moyu in the eye. Lin Moyu's appearance was too scary, not just simply ugly, but really like he would eat someone. Now hearing Lin Moyu's words, Yu Qing reluctantly looked over, and her beautiful eyes suddenly widened. "You are." She quickly covered her small mouth. "So it's Mr. Lin. Miss is waiting for you at the usual place. I'll arrange it for you." Lin Moyu smiled slightly. "Thank you." In the rear courtyard, Lin Moyu came to the usual place. The pavilion was still there. Compared to 2 years ago, Yu Zhu hadn't changed much. Her temperament still looked noble, mature, dignified, and elegant. Only those who were familiar with her knew that a large part of Yu Zhu's temperament was faked. In fact, she was very lively, like a little girl, and sometimes she would be a little mischievous. Seeing Lin Moyu, Yu Zhu let out a silvery laugh, a crisp and melodious laughter coming from the pavilion. "Captain, how did you turn into this look?" She covered her stomach, laughing so hard that she almost fell over. Where was the noble appearance from before? Lin Moyu helplessly entered the pavilion, then put away the cloak of invisibility and restored his original appearance. It was just that the clothes couldn't be changed for the time being. Coupled with Lin Moyu's appearance, there was a hint of wildness in his handsomeness. Yu Zhu stopped laughing, her eyes shining. "Captain, I think you look good dressed like this." Lin Moyu joked with her. "You mean, I didn't dress well before?" Yu Zhu quickly shook her head. "I didn't say that, Captain. If you want to assume that, I can't help it." Lin Moyu chuckled, picked up the teacup, poured it into his mouth, and slowly tasted the cold tea fragrance. "I've found that I can only have a good cup of tea when I come to your place." He was usually too busy, either cultivating or killing people, or on the way to cultivating and killing people, and he simply didn't have time to relax. It seemed to have been like this since entering the great world. Only when he came to Yu Zhu's place could he steal half a day of leisure, making him feel like he was back in the small world, living a few years after marriage. Yu Zhu's beautiful eyes were smiling. "If that's the case, then the captain should come more often in the future. Yu Zhu will always wait for you." Lin Moyu's heart skipped a beat, and he didn't take the conversation. When Yu Zhu said this, her small face also showed a hint of red, and she immediately changed the subject. "Captain, I really think you're better looking after being promoted to God King than before." Lin Moyu restored his original appearance, and naturally exuded an unspeakable noble aura. That was the aura of the God King's golden body, which ordinary God Kings didn't possess. Yu Zhu naturally didn't understand, but her senses were very keen, and she really felt Lin Moyu's change. She had seen many God Kings on weekdays, and even God Sovereigns were common, but no God King was like Lin Moyu. Yu Zhu felt that she was attracted. Her sight was firmly grasped by an invisible force, unable to move away. Lin Moyu smiled. "It's been 2 years, your mouth has become sweeter too. Any new news recently?" Speaking of business, Yu Zhu also became a little more serious. "Captain, didn't you see the message I left you?" She solemnly reminded again, the message in the Human Emperor Network. Lin Moyu smiled dumbly. "I really didn't notice." Unlike people born in the Great World, he had always been dealing with the Human Emperor Network, so he was used to using the various functions of the Human Emperor Network. But Lin Moyu was different. Lin Moyu came from a small world. Although he also used the Human Emperor Network after entering the Great World, he didn't rely on the Human Emperor Network. He wasn't very familiar with many functions of the Human Emperor Network. He usually wouldn't pay attention to the information messages in the Human Emperor Network. If it were someone from the Great World, the first thing they would do when returning to Fortress Number 1 would be to check the information in the Human Emperor Network to see if anyone had left them a message or something. Yu Zhu urged, "Then why don't you take a look now? Ask for flowers." Lin Moyu's old face didn't blush, and he immediately checked. He didn't have many friends in the Human Emperor Network, not even more than 10, and no one sent him messages. The last 10 messages were all left by Yu Zhu, each one telling him about some changes in the battlefield. Lin Moyu checked them one by one, from far to near. A year ago, the human race and the demons went to war. The starting point of the war was the 7th War Zone. The reason was unknown. It seemed to be related to a major loss of the demons. Seeing this message, Lin Moyu roughly guessed that it was related to him. In the mission where he was looking for the military star map, the entire demon army was almost wiped out, and only the commander, August, escaped. Such a huge loss caused the main force of the demon race in the 7th region to be completely annihilated. The demon race would naturally blame this on the human race, so it was not surprising that the war started. 0. The human race was never afraid of the demon race. If you want to fight, then we'll fight you. After the war began, it gradually spread outward. After that, the 6th and 8th war zones also started wars. Overall, the human race lost less and won more, and basically didn't suffer losses. Half a year ago, the Golden Eagle race suddenly intervened. They started wars with the human race in the 5th and 9th war zones. The Golden Eagle race came fiercely, causing great pressure on the human race for a time. 7. This time, what's strange is that the Golden Eagle clan and the Demon clan didn't start a war. On the contrary, there is a tendency for the two sides to join forces against the human clan. The human clan is also not afraid, constantly transferring reinforcements from the star field. 3 months ago, outside the battlefield, the Vermilion Bird star field also broke out in war. However, this time the human clan took the initiative to launch a war against the Demon clan and the Golden Eagle clan. After reading the messages, Lin Moyu discovered that this war seemed to be related to him, and also related to the 4 star fields competition. The Black Hole Serpent incident in the 7-77 area was the initial fuse. Later, there was the Yellow Earth Desert incident, which caused the Demon clan to suffer a great loss. However, Lin Moyu didn't care about the war. Similar wars have been fought countless times, and they will eventually come to an end, which will not have any impact on both sides. The whole process is more like a military exercise. Lin Moyu is more concerned about his mission. Among the 10 messages, 2 messages said that 6 of the top 10 enemies on the Vermilion Bird wanted list have arrived on the Vermilion Bird battlefield. However, these 2 messages were already from half a year ago and are long outdated. The latest message was left 10 days ago, saying that 9 of the top 10 enemies on the Vermilion Bird wanted list have entered the Vermilion Bird battlefield. This seems a bit wrong. Chapter 1422. Help me send a message out. If Lin Moyu could understand that the Demon clan chose to start a war with the human clan because they suffered a great loss from his 2 missions. But the intervention of the Golden Eagle clan is a bit strange. With only a little over 2 years left before the 4 star fields competition, the human clan took the initiative to start a war with the Demon clan, which is completely illogical. Lin Moyu knew that before the start of the 4 star fields competition, each star system in the 4 major star fields would have to conduct internal selection competitions. For the human clan, this is a grand event, so why would they choose to launch a war at this time? Once a war is launched, it cannot be ended just by wanting to end it. If it is a small friction, that's okay, but if it is a major event, it may last for decades. How can the 4 star fields competition be held? Also, those guys on the wanted list's top 10 used to rarely enter the battlefield, but now why are they all entering the battlefield one by one? The fact that 9 out of 10 people have come has made Lin Moyu even more puzzled. After entering the battlefield, the 9 people did not hide their whereabouts at all. On the contrary, they were a bit high profile, clearly telling others where they were. After Lin Moyu finished reading the message, he fell into deep thought. Yu Zhu didn't disturb him, but just made tea for him. Tap, tap, tap. Lin Moyu tapped the tea table lightly with his fingertips, making a rhythmic sound. After a while, Lin Moyu stopped. Yuzu smiled and said, "Captain, what did you think of?" Lin Moyu said, "My information was deliberately released." Yuzu asked strangely, "Why do you say that?" Lin Moyu said in a deep voice, "You should know what happened in front of the teleportation array. Aren't they all admirers of the captain?" Yuzu still didn't connect the cause and effect, and seemed to not know why at all. Lin Moyu reasoned step by step, "First of all, they did come to admire me, but not because I am the top of the 3 lists. There have been many people in history who were the top of the 3 lists, but it seems that this has never happened before. From this, it can be seen that they have other reasons for coming here. I heard them mention my age in their few words. I was 28 years old when I was promoted to Transcendent God, and that is the main reason. They regard me as the second Shaozhanshan, so they will behave so crazily. However, the fact that I was promoted to Transcendent God at the age of 28, except for those who were with me in the Hall of War Gods that day, outsiders would not know, and they would not have the ability to spread the news throughout the Vermilion Bird Star Field, or even into the battlefield. Then it can be imagined that this news must have been spread by someone else. Why spread this news? The purpose is actually very simple, to make others feel afraid. Our opponents don't want to see another god of war in the human clan, so they will try to stifle me. But they can't find me, and then another message is spread, saying that I am doing missions on the battlefield, and my mission is to kill the top 10 people on the Vermilion Bird Starfield wanted list. This is also why those people on the wanted list's top 10 will come in, and even don't hide their whereabouts at all. The purpose is to lure me over. Yuzu was stunned as she listened. She prided herself on being smart, but now she realized that she seemed very stupid in front of Lin Moyu. She saw a lot of news from the Yu family's intelligence network, and the situation she analyzed from it was not as much as Lin Moyu analyzed. Yuzu originally didn't tell Lin Moyu the situation she analyzed, because she wanted to wait for Lin Moyu to ask and then tell him, to show off a little and show her cleverness. As a result, before she could show off, Lin Moyu had already analyzed the whole situation. After listening to Lin Moyu's well-reasoned analysis, Yuzu asked, "Captain, in this case, their main purpose is to kill you, but why start a war?" Lin Moyu chuckled, "Naturally, it is to muddy the waters. Do you believe that as soon as I enter the battlefield, the intensity of this battle will immediately increase, and the divine venerables of the Demon Clan and the Golden Eagle Clan will immediately take action, the purpose of which is to hold back the human clan's divine venerables?" Yuzu felt that this was very likely, but she still had something she couldn't understand. Yuzu has a good habit, when facing Lin Moyu, she asks if she doesn't understand. If the situation on the battlefield is like this, why do we have to take the initiative to start a war in the Vermilion Bird Star Field? The 4 star fields competition is just around the corner. In previous years, we were required to be stable during this time period. In historical data, in previous years before the 4 star fields competition, the human clan would not cause any trouble, and generally focused on stability. This time it is indeed a bit abnormal. Lin Moyu said, "The mouse has been hiding for too long, and it will be caught out one day. Usually, our family is big and our business is big, and it's nothing to let them eat some rice, but when there are really treasures we have to clean up the mice." Yuju's eyes lit up, and she understood the meaning of Lin Moyu's words. There are indeed many guys from various races inserted into the human clan. These guys are either tempted by profit or controlled. They will occasionally pass on some internal information of the human clan. The human clan can turn a blind eye to it at ordinary times, and can even use them in reverse. But when it comes to important times, these guys need to be eliminated, and keeping them may become a disaster one day. And this time is when I am defined as the human clan's Tinder. Lin Moyu felt that his guess was probably correct. Similarly, there are also high and low levels of human clan Tinder. He should be the most top-level kind of human clan Tinder. If it is not good, the human clan's high-level officials will really treat him as the second Shaozhantian to cultivate. If he really becomes the second Shaozhantian, it will definitely be a nightmare for many races. Therefore, they will definitely try every means to prevent him from growing up, and the human clan will also find ways to eliminate potential threats for him. Lin Moyu is very clear about the human clan's training model for future generations. Most of the problems need to be carried by yourself, but some potential dark problems, or problems that you know you can't carry, the upper level will help you solve. Just like the former Kongwen Buddha, the human clan's high-level officials went directly to the Buddha clan afterwards. This time's ancient Buddha palm print, it is thought that the human clan will also respond. There were still some things that I didn't understand before, but combined with the information I got today, Lin Moyu finally understood the meaning of Zhu Qiwu's words. The Buddha clan's information needs to be updated. What is the information? It is nothing more than how many Buddhas and ancient Buddhas there are in the Buddha clan. If a batch of people inside die, then the information will not be updated. When you don't understand a simple sentence, you don't feel anything. When you really understand it, it makes people feel a strong killing intent. After thinking everything through, Lin Moyu felt a sense of enlightenment. Lin Moyu took a sip of iced tea, suppressing the slight excitement in his heart. Tell me the specific locations of those guys. Among the top 10 people on the human clan wanted list in the Vermilion Bird Star Field, 6 are from the Demon Clan, 2 are from the Golden Eagle Clan, 1 is from the Three Silver Clan, and the other is from the Flying Python Clan. This time, the Flying Python Clan person who ranked 9th did not come, and everyone else was present. Yu Ju's little face was a little excited. Okay, thanks, who ranks first? Before she could finish speaking, Lin Moyu suddenly interrupted her. Lin Moyu said in a deep voice, no need to say, I'll change the method. Help me send a message out, saying that I will go to the 8-88 area to perform a mission in 2 days. Yu Ju's eyes widened. Captain, you plan. Chapter 1423. Since you're in the play, then I'll play along. Lin Moyu left the trading center, with the image and temperament of Kai Huo, and walked towards the mission center in a rough manner. Because of his image, he attracted a lot of attention, but also because of his image, basically everyone looked away after taking a glance. Lin Moyu looks like he is not a good person now. Fortress number 1 is now full of discussions about Lin Moyu. 7 out of 10 sentences cannot be separated from Lin Moyu. 8. Especially after Lin Moyu's return, there were even more topics about him. Amidst the overwhelming voices discussing Lin Moyu entered the mission center. After waiting for a while, he arrived at a mission counter. 2 years ago, Lin Moyu had searched for suitable missions, but at that time, due to his realm, many missions could not be accepted. But now it's no problem. Starting from the God King realm, most missions are not restricted. From He Ren Xing, he learned that there was a strange star in the 8-88 area. It was exactly the same as the strange star he had seen in the Vermilion Bird Starfield. The strange star contained the law of immortality. Absorbing the energy from the strange star could rapidly increase one's realm. Moreover, this kind of increase was lossless, not only in terms of energy, but also in the comprehension of laws. It felt to him like a kind of inheritance. At that time, when he absorbed the energy of the strange star at 28, he also saw the approximate locations of other strange stars in the Great World. Among them, there were several that could not be found on the star map, one of which was in the 8-88 area of the Vermilion Bird battlefield. Lin Moyu quickly found the mission for the 8-88 area. There was only one mission in the 8-88 area. He accepted the mission and then left the mission center. He knew that someone would release the information that he had accepted the 8-88 area mission, coupled with the news spread by Yu Zhu. He believed that in less than half a day, those guys would know that he was heading to the 8-88 area. Zhu Qiwu had said that rats should be killed, but also be utilized. Moreover, he did indeed accept the mission, and he was indeed going to the 8-88 area. Everything was real, just waiting for the fish to take the bait. Lin Moyu entered the teleportation array and headed to the 8th fortress, while also checking the specific mission information. Battlefield mission: kill strange lifeforms. In the 8-88 area, there is a strange star. This star contains 2 completely different forces. Living on the star are 2 types of lifeforms. Kill them and bring back their crystal nuclei. Restriction: God King First Order. Completion condition: kill 10 of each type of lifeform and bring back their crystal nuclei. Mission reward: 10,000 mission points. Note: gray lifeforms have powerful attack power, while white lifeforms have powerful recovery power. Both types of lifeforms are between the 2nd and 3rd order of the God King realm. If you are corroded by the gray lifeforms, please seek treatment as soon as possible. Reminder: lifeforms may mutate. If you encounter mutated lifeforms, do not hesitate and flee with all your might. Looking at the mission information, Lin Moyu discovered that this mission was not safe and had variables. The variable was encountering mutated lifeforms, and the only method given was to flee with all one's might. Obviously, mutated lifeforms were extremely terrifying. Many of those who accepted this mission were cultivators above the third order of the God King realm. With their strength, dealing with ordinary strange lifeforms was not a problem. However, if they encountered mutated lifeforms, they only had one option: to flee. Obviously, mutated lifeforms were extremely terrifying. The human race's mission system and cultivation model determined that there would be no strategies for such missions. If there were strategies, they would at most be circulated among a few people or passed down through family records. Strategies could not be found openly. Everything had to be explored on one's own. Giving such a reminder was already the best they could do. Lin Moyu deeply suspected whether the guy who created the Human Emperor network and the human race's rules was a believer in fate. Those unlucky people who died halfway through missions were not worth cultivating. If someone had heaven-defying luck, like Xu Qingyong who could wait for rescue after 1,000 years, such talents were worth cultivating. Lin Moyu had this feeling more than once. From this, he realized that no matter the level of cultivator or their identity, luck was really important. Good luck could turn a desperate situation into a smooth path, at least allowing one to escape death. With bad luck, one could be struck by lightning even while walking properly. The long teleportation finally ended, and Lin Moyu entered the 8th fortress. Because of the war, the atmosphere in the 8th fortress was slightly oppressive. When returning from the Land of Wonders, Lin Moyu had sensed a change in the atmosphere. But at the time, he didn't realize it was actually a war. Now, the 8th-star fortress had entered war mode, with troops stationed around the fortress and warships on standby. However, even during wartime, the teleportation array was still busy with people coming and going, and there were still quite a few cultivators doing missions. The more it was wartime, the more one had to improve oneself. Whether it was to save one's life or join the war, one needed strong strength as a foundation. The teleportation array lit up again, sending Lin Moyu to the outpost in the 88th area. There was also a 10,000-strong army stationed at the outpost, along with several huge warships. As soon as Lin Moyu came out, he felt gazes falling on him. The soldiers' gazes were filled with scrutiny. The war had made the soldiers become vigilant. Lin Moyu transformed into a stream of light and headed for the strange star. Now he no longer needed to ride the Battle King Tower. Since he had the light speed lich of the 9th order of the God King realm, his speed had surpassed the Battle King Tower and all other God Kings. Lin Moyu's speed was too fast, comparable to a God Emperor. The stream of light disappeared from sight in the blink of an eye. The soldier who had been sizing up Lin Moyu earlier revealed a look of shock. What a fast speed. Beside him, another soldier also said, really, this speed, I feel like even using a warship might not be able to catch up. Indeed, I have the same feeling. His realm is definitely more than God King. A God King can't have such speed. I guess he might be a God Emperor. Do you think we should report this to the captain? Let's report it. The situation is tense now, and any disturbance needs to be monitored. The two reported Lin Moyu's matter to their captain, who in turn reported it to the Legion commander. After rounds of reporting, the news finally reached Zhu Qiwu's ears. After listening to the description, Zhu Qiwu knew that it was Lin Moyu who had gone to the 8-88 area. At the same time, he checked Lin Moyu's mission information and confirmed that he had indeed accepted the mission for the 8-88 area. Then, combined with the news that Lin Moyu had Yuzu release, a strange look appeared in Zhu Qiwu's eyes. This brat is adding fuel to the fire. Does he think it's not enough that he's ranked first on the kill list? Is he trying to secure his position? At this moment, several more messages came. Zhu Qiwu's eyes lit up and he revealed a cold smile. Hee, this brat must have predicted it. The fish have taken the bait. Since you're all so into it, then we naturally have to go on stage and play along. Then his voice was like thunder, and an order was transmitted. Order the Legion commanders and elders to participate in the war. Not far from him, the human race's army was already ready to go. With his order, they suddenly sprang into action. Chapter 1424. One punch breaks all laws. Lin Moyu and Zhu Qiwu had formed a silent understanding. Lin Moyu had turned himself into bait to lure those who wanted to kill him. To prevent the human race's god emperors from interfering, the demon race and the golden eagle race would inevitably strengthen their offensive. The god emperors of both races would also take action and launch a fierce attack on the human race. Only god emperors could block god emperors, so the human race's god emperors would also be tied down. At that time, Lin Moyu would be in the 8-88 area, and if the people of the two races came to kill Lin Mo Yu and secretly sent one or two god emperors, they could steadily kill Lin Mo Yu. At the same time, Lin Mo Yu had another consideration. The human race had a mission system, and other races actually had it as well. He could obtain military merits for killing people on the bounty list, and other races could also do the same. Now he was at the top of the kill list in several races, and countless people wanted to kill him. The top 10 people on the bounty list had turned themselves into bait, wanting to lure him to kill them. Now he reversed the situation, actively exposing his position, attracting them over, and then wiping them all out. Lin Mo ordered Yu Zhu to spread the news that he would head to Area 8-88 in 2 days. In reality, Lin Mo had already arrived at Area 8-88 in less than half a day. He reserved the extra time to complete his tasks. He intended to kill people and complete tasks. In other words, Lin Mo didn't take them seriously at all. His strength gave Lin Mo the confidence that anyone who dared to try and kill him would pay the price, even a god emperor. Strange stars appeared in his sight, bizarre gray and white stars, perfectly divided in the middle, not a fraction more or less. The strange stars were exactly the same as those he had seen in the Vermilion Bird Star region, except these strange stars were larger and gave Lin Mo a stronger feeling. The immortal law was divided into two, becoming the power of life and the power of death. If someone didn't cultivate the immortal law, they would only recognize these two laws as the law of life and the law of death. Back in the Vermilion Bird Star region, those cultivators thought the same way and even tried to comprehend the law of life and the law of death from them. But what they didn't know was that it was impossible. Only by completely merging the two laws could one form the immortal law, which ranked in the top tier. These strange stars are even more powerful, and have existed for countless years. Law-based life forms have been born within them. I just don't know how the strange stars were born. In that era, someone must have controlled the immortal law. Lin Mo felt that only the immortal law could give birth to strange stars. No matter how he looked at it, the strange stars didn't seem to be formed naturally. However, without evidence, he couldn't completely rule out the possibility. The closer he got to the strange stars, the stronger the feeling brought by the laws became. Lin Mo couldn't help but feel a sense of intimacy, as the power of death and the power of life permeated towards him, making him feel very comfortable. A cold light rose from the strange stars, transforming into a large axe in the starry sky, and slashed towards Lin Mo. Facing the axe, Lin Mo threw a punch, golden light flashing on his fist. The physical power of the second stage of the God King golden body erupted, smashing the axe and the laws on it. An axe-like magical artifact fell from the void, and Lin Mo saw clearly the guy who attacked him. A Golden Eagle clan member caught the axe and charged towards Lin Mo again. He transformed into golden light, his speed extremely fast, and he arrived in front of him in the blink of an eye. Most Golden Eagle clan members don't use weapons, they feel that their claws are the best magical artifacts. But there are also a few Golden Eagle clan members who like to use weapons, mainly swords, followed by spears. It's rare to see someone using an axe. The Golden Eagle clan member in front of him, with the cultivation of the third stage of the God King realm, and the axe being a low-grade magical artifact of the God King realm, was nothing in Lin Mo's eyes. Relying on his own speed advantage, the Golden Eagle clan member rushed in front of Lin Mo almost instantly, and the axe chopped down head-on. Lin Mo could even clearly see the grin in his eyes. Lin Mo threw another punch, without using any laws or any spells, just relying on his physical strength, a simple punch. The fist was covered with golden light very similar to that of the Golden Eagle clan member. Courting death, the Golden Eagle clan member snorted coldly, his tone filled with disdain. He seemed to have already seen the scene of Lin Mo being chopped into pieces by the axe. The golden light burst out suddenly, and the God King realm magical artifact axe was directly smashed, exploding on the spot. The Golden Eagle clan member was blown away by the huge force, his eyes filled with disbelief. In the next instant, his narrow eagle eyes shrank sharply. Lin Mo had already come to him and punched towards his head. The Golden Eagle clan member screamed strangely, and a dazzling golden light burst out from his body, fleeing towards the strange stars. It's just that he was fast, but Lin Mo was faster. In the God King realm, even the Golden Eagle clan, who are good at speed, can't compare to Lin Mo. Lin Mo followed him like a shadow, and a golden fist landed on him. Flesh and blood exploded, and the Golden Eagle clan member let out a scream, a huge hole was blown out of his body. Unspeakable horror rose in his eagle eyes, and at this time Lin Mo's second punch had already landed. This punch slammed heavily on its head. The head exploded like a watermelon, blood and flesh flying everywhere. One punch shattered his head and destroyed his soul. Even in death, the Golden Eagle clan member couldn't understand why he, a third-stage God King, couldn't even withstand 2 punches. How did Lin Mo manage to shatter his magical artifact with 1 punch? He would never understand, never. Diaresis close corner bracket 1 punch breaks all laws, the physical body is indeed good. Lin Mo looked at his golden fist, without using any laws at all, 1 punch to shatter a magical artifact, 2 punches to kill, simply and neatly. This also strengthened his idea of enhancing his physical body. Along with the corpse of the Golden Eagle clan member, accompanied by blood all over the sky, Lin Mo stepped on the land of the strange stars. He entered the gray area, the death area full of the power of death. The power of death contained extremely strong corrosiveness. Cultivating here required constantly using laws to resist the corrosive force. Lin Mo stood on the ground, feeling it carefully, letting the power of death drill into his body and merge with his immortal law. For others, the corrosive force that needed to be resisted with laws had no effect on Lin Mo. The corrosiveness of the power of death was very strong. In just less than a minute, the corpse of the Golden Eagle clan member that fell on the ground had been corroded by 1/3. In a few more minutes, the Golden Eagle clan member would be completely erased from even the last trace. Looking into the distance, Lin Mo saw a mass of gray gas flying towards him. The speed of the gray gas was not slow. In the process of approaching him, it transformed into hands, feet, and a head. When there were still 10,000 meters left from him, the gray gas had become almost the same as him. When the distance was only 5,000 meters, the gas condensed and solidified, and the shape became extremely clear, indeed exactly the same as him. The hands, feet, and height were no different from him, and the expression was also 7 or 8 points similar. Clothes also appeared on his body, exactly the same as the clothes he was wearing. If the other party wasn't purely gray, Lin Mo would have thought this was another him. But now, it gave him the feeling of looking in a mirror. This is a strange life form, it's really quite magical. After the strange life form turned into Lin Mo's appearance, its speed suddenly increased. It quickly crossed a distance of several thousand meters and came in front of Lin Mo, opening its hands and feet and pouncing on him. It didn't carry out any attacks, it just pounced like this, like a friend who hadn't seen each other for many years. Lin Mo threw a punch, golden light on the fist, blasting through its body. Chapter 1425 No wonder they run when they see it. Golden light on the fist, punching through the strange life form. The gray gas collapsed, and the fist stretched out from behind the gray gas. But the strange life form was not affected and still pounced on Lin Mo. A powerful force of death erupted, turning into a powerful corrosive force, and began to corrode everything about Lin Mo. A dazzling golden light erupted from Lin Mo's body, and the God King golden body was automatically activated to resist the corrosion. The corrosive force came from the power of death of the immortal law, but it was obviously mutated and had an operator. This force of death had a master, so it could no longer be absorbed by Lin Mo, and at the same time, it could attack Lin Mo. With the God King golden body protecting him, the power of death was difficult to corrode. The powerful physical body became Lin Mo's best umbrella. If it were other cultivators, they would need to use laws at this time to kill or disperse the strange life form. Otherwise, in less than a minute, the laws would be corroded. But Lin Mo didn't need to do anything, and the strange life form couldn't do anything to him. The strength of the physical body was all round, and its protection ability was much stronger than the laws of the same realm. Lin Mo gave a light shout, and the golden light suddenly exploded. The strange life form attached to his body also exploded, and a fist-sized gray crystal core fell to his feet, making a crisp impact sound. He sucked the crystal core into his palm and examined it carefully. The crystal core was gray, like crystal, but not transparent. Inside the crystal core, a massive gray gas rolled, emitting an aura of laws. Lin Mo Yu carefully sensed it for a moment, and finally shook his head, putting away the crystal core. The laws within the crystal core had already mutated, becoming impure. The laws inside could no longer be utilized or absorbed, as the power of death was only a part of the undying law and not complete. Now, further contaminated, it was even less useful for comprehension. In Lin Mo Yu's view, this crystal core had no value. Even if a powerful being removed the impurities from the crystal core, it would still be of little use. However, a mission was a mission, and Lin Moyu didn't need to consider so much, he only needed to bring back the crystal core of the strange life form. First, complete the mission, then absorb the power from the strange star to improve himself. The reason for this arrangement was that he wasn't sure if these strange lifeforms would still exist after he absorbed the power of the strange star. If they ceased to exist, then his mission would also fail. In the interval of Lin Moyu's contemplation, another gray strange lifeform rushed over. As before, it constantly changed its shape, becoming more and more like Lin Moyu as it approached, until it was almost identical. They themselves had no fixed form, transforming into the appearance of whoever they touched, then pouncing to cover every corner of the enemy's body. Lin Moyu pointed a finger, and the bone hell emerged, instantly enveloping the strange lifeform within it. Without a target, the strange lifeform instantly lost its ability to transform, reverting to a gaseous state. Within the bone hell, there were a large number of wondrous spirits, which also lacked any concrete form. The strange life form locked onto the wondrous spirits, its form changing accordingly. One moment it became a ball, another it scattered, then it turned into a long strip. Whatever form the wondrous spirit took, it would follow suit. Lin Moyu watched this transformation like a show, finding it somewhat interesting. Seconds later, the wondrous spirits launched an attack, instantly crushing the strange life form, which was only at the third level of the God King realm. The second gray crystal core was obtained, but strangely, the strange life form did not become a slave of the bone hell. They died and were completely dissipated, leaving no trace except for the crystal core. Even the bone hell had no way to pull them into hell or enslave them. Lin Moyu held the crystal core, lost in thought. Strictly speaking, they can't be considered living beings. They are merely the product of the combination of the residual will of the dead and laws, possessing some characteristics of living beings. On the strange star, over the years, many people must have died. These cultivators' wills are strong and haven't completely dissipated. So they can't become slaves of the bone hell, they don't have the qualifications. Lin Moyu saw through the essence of the strange lifeforms and understood what was happening. On the strange star, experts from various races constantly came and went, and battles were equally incessant. The will of these people after death reacted with the laws on the strange star, ultimately forming strange lifeforms. In short, there was nothing particularly special about it. If one couldn't see through it, one would find it very magical. Then Lin Moyu wasted no more time, and the undead legion rushed out. There were quite a few strange lifeforms, but the mission only required 10 crystal cores. After just over 10 minutes, Lin Moyu had collected 10 crystal cores containing the power of death. Next, Lin Moyu headed to the white area full of vitality, needing to collect 10 crystal cores containing the power of life. Lin Moyu transformed into a stream of light, flying towards the life force region full of vitality. The strange star was very large, even larger than a star. However, at Lin Moyu's speed, circling it wouldn't take more than a few seconds. At the junction between the death area of death force and the life area of life force, there was a middle zone with a width of about 10,000 kilometers. From a distance outside the star, the middle zone looked like a belt, circling the entire strange star. In the middle zone, the power of death and the power of life intertwined, indeed resembling a bit of the undying law. After sensing it carefully for a while, Lin Moyu revealed a trace of disdain, specious, seemingly fused, but in reality they are still distinct and independent. On the surface, the two forces seemed to have merged together. But in reality, they were still dispersed internally and could not be called the undying law at all. At the same time, Lin Moyu had to admit that after the two laws were mixed together, their power greatly increased. A scream resounded through the heavens and earth, and Lin Moyu flew over upon hearing it, seeing from afar a person enveloped by a gray and white strange life form. The strange life form had transformed into his appearance, completely covering him, as if possessing him. That person was a cultivator at the 4th level of the God King realm, struggling desperately but unable to break free. The power of death constantly corroded him, the laws on his body quickly being corroded away, and then began to corrode his flesh. But after the flesh was corroded, bare white bones were revealed. At this time, a strange thing happened, his flesh began to grow again. Soon, he returned to his original state, as if he had not been injured. Then, the second round of corrosion began. When corroded to a certain extent, the flesh began to grow again. So, round after round, endlessly, without beginning or end. This scene was extremely terrifying, and anyone who saw it would feel panicked. Unable to die, unable to live. Like a never-ending torture, extremely cruel. The God King's struggle had long ended, as if resigned to his fate, accepting the arrangement of fate. Only the screams never stopped, because it was too painful. Lin Mo Yu's eyes narrowed slightly, he could see that this pain came from the soul. In fact, this God King was about to die, the power of death corroding the body while also corroding the soul. The pain was transmitted from the soul, and the power of life was only responsible for healing the body, not treating the soul. The body had not completely collapsed, and the soul was still protected by the body, which would only make him die slower and more painfully. Is this the mutated life form? It's really a bit cruel, no wonder people run when they see it. Chapter 14:26. If you can't catch it, then die. The mutated life form contains the power of both life and death laws internally. The laws are inseparable, and once touched, they are extremely difficult to get rid of. Because of the existence of life force, it protects the power of death, making the power of death more difficult to deal with. The ultimate result is that you cannot break free, and when your own laws are corroded, and the body loses the protection of the law, then death will come. Lin Mo Yu understood this and also had a corresponding solution. But he did not take action. The God King in front of him was a member of the Three Silver Clan, who were also enemies of the human race. He would not be so kind as to save a hostile race. If it were an ally like the Butterfly Clan, he would naturally come to the rescue. If it were a race with no grievances or hatred, he might also take action, but that would depend on his mood. He was still a while away from real death, and Lin Mo Yu was no longer interested in watching, turning around and flying into the white life force area full of vitality. After entering the vitality area, he immediately released the undead army to find and kill lifeforms. The power of life formed a white life form. This life form is not very aggressive and generally does not actively attack. At the same time, their defense and vitality are extremely powerful. It is not easy for cultivators of the same realm to kill them. The two life forms have their own characteristics, and each has its own strengths and weaknesses. Unfortunately, these characteristics are the same to Lin Mo Yu. After the undead army swept through, even if the defense was strong, it would be swallowed by massive attacks. A few minutes later, Lin Mo Yu had already obtained 10 pure white crystal cores in his hand. 10 crystal cores of each kind, the mission is complete. Next, I have to find the center point. The center point that Lin Mo Yu was referring to was the point containing the power of life in the Grey Death Master Hate area, and the point containing the power of death in the White Vitality area. The undead army turned on the undead vision and searched everywhere. At this moment, the undead vision was far more useful than the naked eye, and in a world with only gray and white, it quickly found the corresponding location. Having had the experience of the previous strange star, Lin Mo Yu was now familiar with the process. After finding the corresponding point, Lin Mo Yu went to the center point according to the position of the 2 points, which was also the center point of the entire strange star. The center point was located in the middle zone where the 2 forces intertwined, and there were many mutated life forms inside. They smelled the aura of the outsider and began to pounce towards Lin Mo Yu. Lin Mo Yu ignored them and flew around the central life force area at a rapid pace, searching for the center point. After flying hundreds of circles, the center point was finally determined. At this time, nearly 100 gray and white mutated life forms had followed behind Lin Mo Yu. For other divine kings, seeing so many mutated life forms, they would have been scared out of their wits and fled in panic. But for Lin Mo Yu, these things were nothing. Lin Mo Yu came to the locked center point and stopped, looking at the mutated life forms that were rapidly pouncing towards him, and raised his hand to point. The skeleton hell emerged, enveloping all the mutated life forms within it. Clusters of undead flames rose from hell, and the mystical spirits pounced on them, launching a fierce attack on the mutated life forms. In less than a minute, hundreds of mutated life forms that made the divine kings change color were all killed. 100 or so gray and white crystalline cores, belonging to the mutated life forms, appeared in hell. In fact, these mutated life forms were not weak, and even 6th or 7th order divine kings would have a headache facing them. One-on-one was okay, but one-on-many could only lead to escape. But Lin Mo Yu was their nemesis, and there were a large number of slaves in the skeleton hell, including thousands of 7th order divine king mystical spirits, hundreds of 8th order divine kings, and even a dozen 9th order divine kings. Even without using the undead legion, Lin Mo Yu could easily kill them. He put away the crystalline cores, stood at the center point, and 2 clusters of laws appeared in the palms of both hands at the same time. Then, the 2 clusters of laws were thrown out, the law full of vitality entered the death zone, and the law full of death entered the vitality zone. The 2 clusters of laws with completely opposite properties landed on the 2 points of life and death at the same time. Boom! The entire strange star was suddenly detonated, bursting with brilliant light. The light carried an incomparably powerful repulsive force, and except for Lin Mo Yu, everyone on the star was expelled, and no one could stay. The divine kings from various races were forced to leave the strange star and stopped only after flying 20,000 kilometers away. With the strange star as the center, a range of 100,000 kilometers became a forbidden zone, impossible to approach. The strange star shone brightly in the starry sky, and only Lin Mo Yu stood in the star, closing his eyes and sensing the changes in the star. The areas of life and death were exchanging. The vitality in the gray death area became stronger and stronger, and the death in the white vitality area became more and more intense. Both were suppressed to the limit before erupting suddenly. With an overwhelming force, it suppressed the original attributes. Polar reversal, life and death exchange, yin and yang fusion. Controlling life and death, doing as you please. A large number of insights arose in his heart, coming one after another, permeating the soul world. Seeking flowers. In the soul world, the Law Galaxy suddenly appeared. The Law Galaxy sprinkled its brilliance, bringing countless profound truths, echoing and flying in the soul world. Lin Mo Yu's understanding of the undead law continued to improve. It was exactly the same as before, but this time the insights came more violently, and the soul felt intense pain. A large amount of knowledge about the undead law was forcibly engraved into his soul, leaving marks in the soul that could never be erased. 2 words suddenly popped up in Lin Mo Yu's heart: inheritance. He suddenly understood that the strange star was a kind of inheritance, an inheritance left over from ancient times. Only those who have mastered the undead law can receive this inheritance. Which strong person left this inheritance behind? Could it be that incomparably mysterious master? In Lin Mo Yu's cognition, only that incomparably mysterious master could possibly master the undead law. The mysterious manor, the ancient tomb, and the nether swamp, each place had records about the master, and they all pointed to the same person. However, Lin Mo Yu no longer had any room for thinking, and the surging insights overwhelmed his thoughts. He felt like a small boat in a turbulent wave, and he would be destroyed if he was not careful. He no longer had the energy to think about anything else, and could only fully comprehend. The inheritance method was too domineering, not giving Lin Mo Yu any room to breathe. Either successfully accept the inheritance, or collapse the soul, and even if his talent allowed Lin Mo Yu to be reborn, his thinking would be severely impacted, and he might even become an idiot. Lin Mo Yu couldn't imagine why accepting an inheritance would be so dangerous. But he had no chance to regret, now he could only meet the waves head-on, succeed or die. Lin Mo Yu had a solid foundation and perfectly advanced to the Divine King realm. It could be said that his small boat had no shortcomings. No matter how big the waves were, it would not be easy to capsize him. He endured the severe pain coming from his soul, accepting a large number of insights, gaining a deeper understanding of the undead law, and the control of the law began to increase rapidly. 31%, 32%. 35%. Lin Mo Yu's body shook, and his aura suddenly became stronger, officially entering the 2nd stage of the Divine King. From the Divine King realm onwards, every 5% increase in the understanding of the law would strengthen the soul, and the realm could also be raised by 1 stage. This would continue until the 5th stage of the Divine King, at which time the control of the law would reach 50%. From the 6th stage of the Divine King onwards, each promotion required increasing the control of the law by 10%, until the peak of the Divine King, entering the Little Divine Lord, and the control of the law would reach 100%. Chapter 1427. The show was not watched, and a life was lost. Lin Mo Yu was in pain and joy at this moment. His realm was improving too fast. In just 1 day, he was pulled from the 1st stage of the Divine King to the 2nd stage of the Divine King. Moreover, it was the kind of promotion that didn't need to worry about the unstable foundation at all. After the soul was strengthened, the soul power was replenished by the giant tree of talent, and it took almost no time to replenish it completely. With sufficient soul power and perfect understanding of the law, there were no shortcomings. Except for the pain and the increased danger, this inheritance method was really full of advantages. In just 1 day, he advanced to the second stage of the Divine King. But the inheritance was not over yet, the surging insights continued, and they became stronger and stronger. The pain in the soul came in waves, one wave stronger than the other. Lin Moyu had no retreat, he could only grit his teeth and endure. At the same time, he had to fully accept the insights of the law, understand them and digest them. He had to know what it was, and also know why it was. Lin Moyu felt that his brain was about to burn out, and his soul was smoking. The giant tree of talent kept swaying, as if it was cooling Lin Moyu down. In the void, a group of divine kings stood 100,000 kilometers outside the strange star, staring at Lin Moyu with unkind eyes. At this moment, there was only Lin Moyu on the strange star, and the strange life forms on the star collectively died the moment they were driven away. A large number of crystalline cores fell on the ground, and then merged into the ground and disappeared. Dust to dust, earth to earth, the crystalline cores of the strongest originally belonged to the strange star, and at this moment they also returned to the strange star. The two areas of the gray and white strange star were switched in their eyes, and a huge amount of energy was concentrated on Lin Moyu, and Lin Moyu's aura began to increase sharply. It's this human Zhu guy, he found the secret of the strange star. I didn't expect that the secret that I have been searching for so long was actually discovered by him. The strange star is really powerful. In just one day, it has promoted people from the first stage of the Divine King to the second stage of the Divine King. Tisk tisk, no matter what stage the Divine King is, when he finishes his promotion, I will definitely catch him and ask him what the secret inside is. God King realm experts from various races looked at Lin Moyu with ill intentions. In their eyes, Lin Moyu was stealing their opportunity. Those who steal opportunities are irreconcilable enemies. Regardless of whether they had hatred with the human race, from this moment on, they had formed an irreconcilable feud with Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu was completely unaware of this, his entire energy was focused on accepting the inheritance, and he had no time to care about what others thought. 3 days later, an invisible force suddenly transmitted from the void. Instantly, hundreds of millions of kilometers were locked down, the space became thick and stable, and most teleportation-type crops lost their effectiveness. The group of God Kings who were surrounding the strange star, preparing to capture Lin Moyu for interrogation, were stunned. Who locked down the space? Such a strong locking force, such a large range, it's not an ordinary starry sky pearl. At least a God Venerable realm magic weapon is needed to have this range. Could it be that a God Venerable has arrived? Is it a God Venerable of the human race? Could it be protecting him? Amidst the discussions, an army appeared in their sight. The army numbered around 10,000, with a vast aura, and every member was a God King. God King realm soldiers could be considered the elite main force of the army. However, this army was very strange, with demons, golden eagles, and 3 silver races. The demon and golden eagle races are enemies, which is well known throughout the great world. How could they form a joint army? How did they put down their hatred? What is the 3 silver race? Although they are not hostile, it is impossible for them to form a joint army. The God Kings present were all dumbfounded. At the front of the team, there were 9 people leading. Their aura was powerful, although they were all God Kings, they were obviously stronger than others. Among these 9 people, 6 were from the demon race, 2 were from the golden eagle race, and 1 was from the 3 silver race. Among the stunned God Kings, someone suddenly exclaimed, I recognize them, they are those guys on the human race's wanted list. I remember, recently the demon and golden eagle races have been looking for a human named Lin Moyu. It's not just them who are looking, many who have hatred with the human race are looking. I heard that Lin Moyu is the strongest genius of the human race now, with the title of Shaozantian II. I've also heard that he comes from a small world, became a transcendent at the age of 28, and has unparalleled talent. Could it be? Someone suddenly realized something and looked at Lin Moyu in the strange star. Could it be that he is Lin Moyu? Everyone's faces showed shock. If the person in the strange star was Lin Moyu, then it would not be surprising that the demon, golden eagle, and 3 silver races formed a joint army. They are all enemies of the human race, and it seems possible to temporarily put down their hatred and form a joint army to stifle the genius of the human race. The 3-race joint army rushed over quickly. In addition to the 9 people leading the way, there were 3 people above the joint army, exuding an amazing aura, which were 3 God Venerables. The demon, golden eagle, and 3 silver races each dispatched a God Venerable. This was simply a must-kill situation, not giving Lin Moyu any chance to live. Someone realized something was wrong and shouted loudly, "Retreat, we retreat quickly." But it was too late. The Golden Eagle race's god Venerable in the joint army issued a cold voice, "Clear the field." In an instant, clear light flashed, and the Golden Eagle race took action. They dispatched 3,000 people this time, with 1,000 people as a formation, forming 3 battle formations. Although the Golden Eagle race's battle formation is not as famous as the Demon race's battle formation, it completely surpasses the Demon race's battle formation in terms of speed. In the great world, someone once said that if you are chased by the Demon race's battle formation, you still have a chance to escape. If you are chased by the Golden Eagle race's battle formation, you can only wait for death. This shows how terrifying the Golden Eagle race's battle formation is. If you can't beat it, you can only wait for death, you can't escape at all. The Golden Eagle race's 3 battle formations turned into 3 golden streamers, sweeping like a torrent. The god kings of various races who were originally waiting to interrogate Lin Moyu, changed their expressions drastically and turned around to escape. Unfortunately, their speed was too slow compared to the Golden Eagle race's speed. Especially after forming a battle formation, the Golden Eagle race's speed was even faster than before. The golden torrent swept across the void, engulfing these fleeing god kings one by one. Wherever the torrent passed, there was no trace of them. In just a few minutes, the void became extremely quiet, with only the 3 race joint army and the strange star. Lin Moyu knew nothing about what was happening outside the star, he had no ability to be distracted. The Golden Eagle race's god Venerable looked at the strange star, locked onto Lin Moyu, and issued another order, "Kill inside." The 3 golden torrents turned again in the void and rushed towards the strange star. With a loud bang, golden light exploded in the void. The 3 golden torrents seemed to have crashed into an indestructible high wall and were forcibly scattered. The battle formation collapsed, and the Golden Eagle race's god kings inside were all blown away. The Golden Eagle race's god Venerable's face became unsightly, he didn't expect such a result. He felt that he had lost face, God Venerable's valued face, this time he really lost face. The Demon race's god Venerable added insult to injury, laughing disdainfully, "You are really useless guys, let's see my race's battle formation." With an order, 1,000 Demon race's god kings formed a battle formation, turning into a demon greatsword, and slashed towards the strange star. With a loud bang, the strange star remained motionless. The demon battle formation, like the Golden Eagle race's battle formation, collapsed on the spot. The demon god kings inside spat blood and were shaken to pieces. "Haha, your demon race's battle formation is nothing more than this." The Golden Eagle race's god Venerable laughed loudly, feeling that his face had been regained. Only the 3 silver race's god Venerable watched coldly. "Let's do it ourselves." Chapter 1428. Whether I am crazy or not, a test will tell. The god Venerable of the 3 silver race belongs to the silver snake lineage, his voice is slightly sharp, and accompanied by the hissing sound unique to snakes. "Let's do it ourselves." He was not suggesting, but notifying. As soon as the words fell, he had already started. A silver light flashed in the starry sky, turning into a vast galaxy. The waves in the Law Galaxy rolled, the laws poured out, turning into silver giant pythons rushing towards the strange star. The silver giant pythons crashed into the strange star, collapsing immediately, and there was nothing they could do about the strange star. Every time a silver giant python shattered, the body of the 3 silver races god Venerable would tremble. These silver giant pythons carry its thoughts and soul power, and each destruction will form a backlash for him. Seeing that the silver giant pythons were useless, he gritted his teeth, waved his big hand, and smashed the entire Law Galaxy on it. In the loud bang, the Law Galaxy was destroyed. The god Venerable let out a scream, and then spat out a mouthful of blood. The 2 god Venerables of the Demon race and the Golden Eagle race looked at each other. They never thought that the strange star would be so solid. The Golden Eagle race god Venerable said, "It seems that we can't do anything to him before Lin Moyu comes out. Then we will surround this place. I don't believe he won't come out." "No need to worry, the initiative is on our side. This starry sky has been sealed, he has no chance to escape. And we agreed in advance, Lin Moyu will be handed over to a few little guys to practice first." "That's right, what are we in a hurry for? Isn't he going to kill the people on the bounty list? Then let's see how capable he is." The 3 of them sneered, as if they had Lin Moyu figured out. Under the orders of the 3 race coalition dispersed, each guarding one side. The three of them then disappeared into the void. At the forefront of the three-race coalition, stood the top 10 guys on the Vermilion Bird Star region's human race bounty list. Being able to enter the human race bounty list are basically geniuses of various races, possessing the ability to fight beyond their level, and even be able to fight across borders. In addition, realm cultivation is secondary, talent and potential are the main thing. Just like Lin Moyu, who can enter the top of the must-kill list of various races, it is not because Lin Moyu's realm is high, but because his potential is amazing. The human race does not want to see geniuses from other races grow up, and other races are the same. Especially someone like Lin Moyu, who has the potential to become the second Xiao Zontian, must be mercilessly killed. This time, the various races are cooperating in a rare manner, also to kill Lin Moyu. They even went so far as to activate spies hidden within the human race to pass on a large amount of information about Lin Moyu. Knowing that Lin Moyu had come to Area 8 to 88, they quickly strengthened their battle scale, dispatching a large number of Divine Venerables to contain the human Divine Venerables. And then carry out a sure kill against Lin Moyu. The pain in his soul gradually lessened, and the inheritance entered its final stage. Lin Moyu's control over the laws had reached 40%, steadily entering the third stage of Divine King. Having just perfectly advanced to Divine King, and then reaching the third stage of Divine King in such a short period, Lin Moyu's speed of improvement was astonishing. The pain completely disappeared, and Lin Moyu let out a long breath. Finally over, that was really dangerous, almost capsized. It seems that I can't accept inheritances in a short period of time, at least until I have completely digested these inheritances. The quality of the soul is very important. If my soul hadn't reached the peak of the 4th grade, it might have been troublesome just now. There are still 3 strange stars in the human starfield, located in the Xuanwu starfield, the White Tiger starfield, and Divine City respectively. In the future, when my soul is stronger, I can go and take a look. During the inheritance, various insights surged in, turning into a huge force that directly slammed into the soul. If his soul quality hadn't been high enough, and his will hadn't been strong enough, he would have become an idiot even if he didn't die. Inheritance is good, but it's not so easy to bear. Moreover, the strange stars are opportunities unique to him, and others can't steal them even if they want to, so there's no need to rush. These law insights that were engraved in his mind all at once, although he understood them all, he hadn't fully absorbed and digested them, and transformed them into his own strength. The whole process also takes a lot of time, and also requires actual combat. As the inheritance ended, the strange star gradually returned to calm. The strange life forms on it had completely disappeared, and the power of life and death still existed, but it was weaker than before and needed time to recover. The time it would take for the strange life forms to reappear would be even longer, thousands or even tens of thousands of years might not be enough. When the strange star completely returned to calm, Lin Moyu felt countless gazes watching him. Looking up, a smile couldn't help but appear on the corner of his mouth. So you've all arrived. In the void 100,000 kilometers away, 9 figures stood side by side. Behind them was the allied forces of the 3 races. You think you can kill me with these guys? Lin Moyu's eyes swept over, a skeleton appeared beside him, and using the undead vision, he scanned the field again. So there are still 3 divine venerables hiding in the dark, that's more like it. Lin Moyu slowly ascended into the air, left the strange star, and came to face the allied forces of the 3 races. Seeing Lin Moyu move, the allied forces of the 3 races immediately surged with powerful auras. Every soldier was a divine king, and in terms of realm, none of them were weaker than Lin Moyu. The auras of the 3 races, allied forces formed 3 huge pressures that pressed towards Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu's expression remained unchanged. This level of pressure was nothing in front of his 4th grade peak soul. Stopping 1,000 miles away, Lin Moyu's gaze swept over the figures. 9, you're all here. His nonchalant appearance aroused the anger of the 9. The 9 of them were all top geniuses in their respective races, otherwise they wouldn't have been included in the human race's bounty list and occupied the top 10 positions. The human race's bounty list was an honor for them. Among the 9, a demon sneered repeatedly, "Human Lin Moyu, you've finally come out, you lowly human, I heard you want to kill me." Lin Moyu looked at the slightly strange, 5-meter-tall demon who was as thin as a bamboo pole. "Who are you? I can't place you." Judging from the other party's soul strength, it was about the level of the 2nd to 3rd stage of Divine King. Lin Moyu guessed that he should be the 10th ranked Yin Fire Demon, the weakest guy in the top 10 of the bounty list. The demon race occupied 6 positions in the top 10 of the bounty list, and each of them had their own name or title, indicating that they belong to the genius ranks in the race. Within the demon race, ordinary demons are not qualified to have names or titles, and most of them are just a number. Anger spewed from the Yin Fire Demon's eyes. He had a feeling of being looked down upon. Lin Moyu actually said he didn't recognize him. He said angrily, "This old man is Yin Fire." Before he could finish speaking, Lin Moyu interrupted him, "Forget it, you don't need to say it, anyway you're all going to die in a moment, it's useless to say it, I won't erect a monument for you." Bastard! Yin Fire Demon was furious. The others also showed anger in their eyes, and said in unison, "You're courting death." Lin Moyu said helplessly, "Don't waste time, I still have to rush back to turn in the mission, you can all come together, and the army behind you, as well as the 3 turtles hiding their heads, can also attack together." 3 divine venerables revealed their figures in the void. The Golden Eagle race divine venerable wore golden armor, like a golden deity. He looked at Lin Moyu with a sneer, "You're very arrogant, are all the human race's geniuses as arrogant as you?" Lin Moyu chuckled, "Whether I'm arrogant or not, you'll know once you try." Chapter 1429 The feeling of fist-to-fist combat is really good. Lin Moyu was somewhat wild, facing the allied forces of the 3 races, with divine venerables guarding the formation, he was not afraid at all. Lin Moyu had anticipated the current situation, and it was not much different from what he had expected. The only slightly troublesome thing at the moment was the 3 divine venerables, the others were nothing at all. Dealing with divine venerables required a little effort. Arrogant, see how I kill you. Yin Fire Demon rushed out first. He felt that Lin Moyu completely looked down on him. Although he was the weakest of the 9, it didn't mean he didn't care about face. Yin Fire's whole body rose with dark flames, turning into a fire man. There are 2 types of flames in the demon race, one is Hellfire, which is black and red. The other is Abyss Fire, which is dark green. Yin Fire Demon is from the Hell lineage. If he manipulates the fire law, the Hellfire he displays will be black and red. But he also absorbed a trace of Abyss Fire, causing the flame to mutate and become as black as ink. Hellfire and Abyss Fire are like the 2 sides of Yin and Yang. The violence of Hellfire is the Yang side, and the gentleness of Abyss Fire belongs to the Yin side. When the 2 combine, the power doesn't seem to change much, but it becomes more vicious, producing violent fire poison. Once it gets on you, it's like being poisoned, and it will continue to cause damage. The flames surged, and Yin Fire Demon manipulated the flames, turning them into a fire snake that wrapped around Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu snorted lightly, facing the overwhelming fire snake. He didn't dodge or avoid it, and punched out. Sure enough, he's arrogant, he actually dares to use his physical body to directly receive it. HMPH. What human race's bullshit genius, he's just a big-headed madman. Wait to be devoured by Yin Fire and burned to ashes. Yin Fire Demon didn't expect Lin Moyu to use his fist to receive his attack. A cold smile rose in his eyes, and he laughed loudly with disdain. At the same time, he strengthened his flames, and the fire snake instantly engulfed Lin Moyu. The others beside him showed surprise at the same time. They didn't expect Lin Moyu to be this kind of person. Some of them regretted it. If they had known, they would have done it themselves, and this credit wouldn't have been taken away by the weakest Yin Fire Demon. The so-called top genius of the human race, the second Xiao Zhanshan, turned out to be this kind of stuff. It really disappointed them. Even if they are opposing races, they also want to fight against strong people. At this time, the demon divine venerable above suddenly shouted sharply, "Be careful! Be careful! Be careful of what?" Yin Fire Demon was stunned. Before he could react, golden light bloomed from the fire snake. Lin Moyu, covered in golden light, rushed out of the fire snake, and instantly arrived in front of Yin Fire Demon. An ordinary punch, carrying golden light, blasted out, hitting Yin Fire Demon's head like lightning. Boom! Golden light exploded together with the flames. Yin Fire Demon's head exploded into pieces, and his soul was also obliterated. With such a simple punch, the 10th ranked Yin Fire Demon on the Vermilion Bird Starfield bounty list died just like that. The remaining 8 people couldn't help but feel a thud in their hearts. Lin Moyu seemed to be different from what they thought. Lin Moyu swept his gaze across the crowd with a smile. "It's your turn." Adorned in golden light, he pounced towards the nearest person. This one was also from the demon race, but Lin Moyu didn't know exactly who it was, nor did he care about their ranking on the bounty list. All he knew was that he had to kill him. Dodge, don't let him get close. He has the golden body of a god king, at least at the second level. Keep your distance and don't try to compete with him physically. Use spells to restrain him. The voice of the god Venerable sounded again, as the three god Venerables offered reminders. However, they did not take action. Although Lin Moyu had revealed the golden body of a god king, it was not enough to leave them helpless. These 9 people, no wait, the remaining 8, were all top geniuses from the 3 races, with incredibly rich combat experience, and naturally had ways to deal with him. The 8 people immediately retreated, not engaging with Lin Moyu. Especially the 2 god kings from the Golden Eagle race, who retreated the fastest. At the same time, they shot out golden lights from their hands, striking Lin Moyu's body. Lin Moyu casually threw 2 punches, extinguishing the golden lights. One punch breaks all spells. No matter what attack you use, I'll break it with a single punch. The strength of his physical body gave Lin Moyu a sense of invincibility. Lin Moyu transformed into a streak of light, instantly appearing in front of the demon he had targeted, unleashing a fierce punch. This demon was called Jiu Li Mo, previously ranked 2nd on the bounty list, but in recent years his ranking had fallen to 5th. His cultivation was still at the 4th level of God King, with no progress, and he had been overtaken by others. Lin Moyu's sudden appearance startled him. He couldn't understand why Lin Moyu's speed was so fast, even faster than the Golden Eagle race. Not daring to take Lin Moyu's punch head-on, he summoned a giant shield in his hand to block himself. The shield was covered with countless sharp thorns, looking incredibly sharp. It was a low-grade magic treasure of the God King realm. Lin Moyu's punch slammed into the shield, causing it to erupt with a roar as the thorns shattered and spiderweb-like cracks appeared on the shield. The enormous force transmitted from the shield to Jiu Li Mo, who was sent flying with a scream. He flew backward quickly, but Lin Moyu was even faster, instantly catching up and smashing another punch down on his head. Jiu Li Mo's heart was filled with terror. His domain of laws violently opened, covering tens of thousands of miles of starry sky, and his whole body emitted a strong black light, instantly enlarging his body. At the same time, he raised his shield again, blocking it in front of himself. Boom! The second punch shattered the shield, and even the hand behind the shield was pulverized by the punch. With a scream, Jiu Li Mo's figure suddenly disappeared. The next second, he reappeared in the starry sky tens of thousands of miles away. Jiu Li Mo belonged to the Abyss Demon lineage and possessed the Abyss Law. He could move freely within the range covered by the domain of laws. However, each move had an interval, which was a cooldown time. The higher the cultivation level, the farther the movement distance, and the shorter the cooldown time. Jiu Li Mo could now move 3 times per second, with a maximum distance of no more than 20,000 kilometers each time. In other words, the cooldown time for his spell was 0.33 seconds. Jiu Li Mo finished moving, his heart still pounding, and before he could catch his breath, a golden light flashed before his eyes, and Lin Moyu had already appeared in front of him. A golden fist smashed towards him. Impossible, how can he be so fast? Jiu Li Mo didn't have time to think, his body instinctively activated teleportation, and once again appeared 20,000 kilometers away. As soon as he saw the scene in front of him clearly, the golden light had already appeared. Jiu Li Mo was completely frightened, and instinctively moved again. This time when the movement ended, he no longer saw the golden light. Just as he breathed a sigh of relief, he heard the exclamations of his companions. He recognized the voices coming from Finks, the strongest among them. Finks seems to be saying, "Be careful." This was his last thought, and then the scene before his eyes exploded, and his consciousness fell into boundless darkness. A fist was swung out from behind him, smashing his head. The feeling of flesh on flesh is really good, Lin Moyu said with a sneer, looking at the crowd. The remaining 6 people were completely stunned. The 2 from the Golden Eagle race looked at Lin Moyu, their eyes full of disbelief. Impossible, how could your speed be so fast? The speed displayed by Lin Moyu was faster than them, even Jiu Li Mo's teleportation couldn't escape. They were the Golden Eagle race, one of the fastest races in the Great World. But now they discovered that Lin Moyu's speed actually crushed them. They had never seen such an opponent. The Golden Eagle race, which had always won with speed, was a little dazed. Attack together, kill him. At this time, Finks let out a stern roar, his domain of laws opened, and at the same time, a large net was thrown out, covering Lin Mo Yu. Chapter 1430. So you want to outnumber me? The net shone brightly, rapidly enlarging, covering tens of thousands of miles of starry sky. Lin Mo Yu felt a force locking onto him, the power of this magical net. Finks wanted to use this net to limit Lin Mo Yu's speed. This was a high-grade magic treasure of the God King realm, with the ability to trap and control enemies. Moreover, because its grade was high enough, even if Lin Mo Yu had the golden body of a God King and a strong physical body, it would not be easily destroyed. As long as they could hold Lin Mo Yu for a while, they could kill him together. No matter what, Lin Mo Yu's cultivation was only at the 3rd level of God King. Lin Mo Yu sneered with disdain and unfolded the wings of the undead. Instantly severing the soul lock, ignoring the net, he transformed into a stream of light and rushed out directly. Finks' face changed drastically, and he shouted angrily, "Restrain him." One of the Silver Race members, a silver hound, suddenly produced a giant conch shell in his mouth, and howled at the conch shell. Sound waves like sharp arrows drilled into Lin Mo Yu's head, stabbing towards his soul. A soul attack. Wanting to use a soul attack to restrain him, Lin Mo Yu could only laugh at his ignorance. The sharp arrows were blocked by the crystal barrier, and the soul attack of the God King realm had no effect on Lin Mo Yu. With a 4th grade peak soul, the Jade Soul gave birth to Purple, and the soul's defense was so strong that even a God Venerable would have to spend some effort to kill Lin Mo Yu from the soul level. Lin Mo Yu was not affected in any way, but instead changed direction and flew towards the Silver Hound. Impossible. The Silver Hound was startled, his soul attack was actually useless. He didn't dare to let Lin Mo Yu get close at all. His domain of laws contracted to cover his whole body, and then his body transformed into 10 into 100, and 100 into 1,000. In the blink of an eye, he turned into tens of thousands of identical silver hounds, fleeing in all directions. Tens of thousands of silver hounds had the same aura and the same appearance, making them difficult to distinguish. Lin Mo Yu's expression remained unchanged. He instantly changed direction, caught up in the blink of an eye, and punched out. Boom! His head shattered, and all the silver hounds disappeared. A corpse was left in front of Lin Mo Yu, with blood still flowing. He didn't understand until his death how his spell was seen through. Lin Mo Yu would naturally not tell him that he could split into clones, but he only had one soul. Lin Mo Yu just used the undead vision to firmly lock onto him, there would be no mistake. How dare you! An angry roar came from the void above. The god exalted of the 3 Silver clan was somewhat exasperated. He didn't expect that the genius of his clan would be killed so easily. Lin Mo looked up. Don't just shout, come down if you have the guts. The 3 Silver clan god exalted maintained his status. Ignorant kid, let you jump around for a while longer. Lin Mo snorted. At this moment golden light lit up behind him. The people of the Golden Eagle clan made their move. 2 Golden Eagle clan members attacked Lin Mo's back, unleashing 10,000 golden rays. The golden rays, carrying the sharpness of the gold-based laws, enveloped Lin Mo's entire body. At the same time, Finks and another demon attacked from both sides. Finks held a long spear in his hand, turning into a stream of light and stabbing towards Lin Mo. The demon on the other side let out a roar, the sound waves layered upon layer, solidifying the starry sky, sealing Lin Mo, making him unable to move. The Golden Eagle clan was responsible for breaking the defense, a 5th Order God King demon was responsible for control, and then the 6th Order God King Finks would perform the final kill. Lin Mo was indeed controlled, unable to move for a moment. Dense golden light fell on his body, making clanging sounds. Lin Mo's whole body was shining with golden light, mixed with the Golden Eagle clan's attack, turning into a large golden ball of light. The tip of Finks's spear emitted black-red flames. He roared, the hell-based laws fully erupted. The black-red flames swept across 10,000 miles of void, then violently contracted, and then exploded violently. All the power was concentrated and erupted at one point. The black-red flames contained vast death laws, raging in the void. The demon clan god exalted revealed a satisfied smile. Although Finks is only a 6th Order God King, this spear carries the fire of hell and the laws of death. Even a 9th Order God King would be severely injured. Even if Lin Mo has a God King golden body, he can't stop the attack of the laws of death. His implication was that Lin Mo, who was only a 3rd Order God King, would undoubtedly die. The Golden Eagle clan god exalted did not speak, he stared firmly at the center of the explosion, watching the result. Gradually, his expression changed. The demon god exalted, who had been full of confidence just now, also had a different expression, and said in a shocked low voice, "He's not dead." Not only was he not dead, he wasn't even injured. Lin Mo stood in the fire, letting the black-red flames burn his body, letting the laws of death rage. He was as stable as Mount Tai in it. Treating the attack as nothing, Lin Mo's eyes were smiling, but in the eyes of the 6 people, it turned into fear. His physical body was too strong, his defense was too strong, they couldn't break it at all. His attack was too strong, they couldn't stop it at all, how could they fight? Control him, Finks shouted. Since they couldn't beat him, they would control him and hand him over to others to kill. They weren't just 6 people, there were still armies and battle formations behind them. The last 2 demons who hadn't made a move came over, controlling Lin Mo separately. One was a 5th Order God King, and the other was a 4th Order God King. Both were hell-based demons, their laws were similar and their powers were connected. From the perspective of laws, Lin Mo had to admit that he was indeed inferior to the other party. Even using the God King golden body, it was difficult to get rid of their combined control. Finks threw out that large net again, covering Lin Mo. The net contracted and bound Lin Mo. Lin Mo's whole body shone with golden light, blocking the net, but it was difficult to get rid of it for a while. The 2 Golden Eagle Clan God Kings continuously attacked Lin Mo, restricting Lin Mo's power. Even if they couldn't break the defense, they could weaken Lin Mo's power and play a restraining role. Finks was overjoyed and shouted sharply, "Battle formation, attack!" His individual strength was not enough to hurt Lin Mo. Now, apart from the 3 God Exalted, the only thing he could rely on was the battle formation. The demon army of 5,000 God Kings, gathered into a battle formation, was stronger than a battle formation composed of 1,000 God Kings. 5,000 demons, at least 3rd Order God Kings, formed a battle formation, transforming into a huge battle blade, occupying a large area of the starry sky. The battle blade was over 10,000 meters long. Lin Mo was smaller than the tip of the blade in front of this battle blade, like an ant. The aura erupted from the battle blade had surpassed the 9th Order God King and reached the small God Exalted level. In Lin Mo's feeling, this battle blade was enough to compare with the Black Sand God King in the Yellow Earth Desert. The 3,000 Golden Eagle Clan God Kings also formed a battle formation. A sharp arrow appeared in the starry sky. The arrow had no bow, but it exuded terrifying sharpness, as if it could penetrate everything. Finally, there was the battle formation composed of 1,003 Silver Clan members. These 3 Silver Clan members were all composed of silver snakes. A 10,000-meter giant python appeared in the starry sky. The giant python shot a beam of light from its eyes. The beam of light had a petrifying effect, firmly locking Lin Mo. "Go to hell," Finks shouted, and the 3 battle formations launched together. The battle blade slashed across the sky, tearing the starry sky. The golden arrow pierced through the air, carrying boundless sharpness. 1 layer of restraint, 2 layers of attack, launched a desperate attack on Lin Mo. Finks smiled grimly. "You are dead." Lin Mo smiled, "So you're comparing numbers." Lin Mo flicked his finger, and undead flames appeared out of thin air in the void. The void seemed to have a big hole, flames poured out of the hole frantically, and the skeleton throne emerged with the flames. Fused from the power of 100 million skeletons, the 10,000-meter-tall skeleton king stood up from the throne and raised the bone sword in his hand. God-slaying sword. Chapter 1431. There might be a disaster of extinction in the future. Lin Mo summoned the strongest skeleton king to date. When he was a First Order God King, the skeleton king he summoned had already reached the peak of the small God Exalted. Now he is already a Third Order God King. The combat power of the 3 basic skeleton levels has been correspondingly improved, and the skeleton king formed by their combination has also become stronger. Lin Mo didn't know how strong it was, because even he himself was using it for the first time. The skeleton king swung the god-slaying sword at the demon battle formation. A terrifying sword light burst out, and a river of laws appeared in the void. Bones were everywhere in the river of laws. Countless skeletons stood up from the bones and collectively swung their swords. This sword seemed to be not slashed by the skeleton king alone, but by countless skeletons in the river of laws simultaneously slashing countless swords. The sword light was incomparably bright, and the demon battle formation collapsed almost instantly. The 3 God Exalted in the void were shocked, and the demon God Exalted's face changed drastically. God Exalted combat power. This god-slaying sword summoned the river of laws and had entered the god-exalted combat power. With one sword, he defeated the battle formation composed of 5,000 God King realm demons, the battle blade collapsed in the void, and countless demons were killed and injured. The Skeleton King's combat power entered the god-exalted realm, which was both unexpected and reasonable. Lin Mo smiled coldly, and did not stop attacking. At the moment when the Skeleton King made his move, his second spell had already been used. Stellar level spell, Undead Gaze. The void vibrated violently, and raging flames burned. The entire space seemed to be torn apart, and an eye of 10 million meters in size emerged from the crack. The eye was burning with gray flames, looking indifferent and ruthless, making people feel cold. Among all of Lin Mo's spells, if there is any spell with the greatest power, it must be the Undead Gaze. The Undead Eye of 10 million meters in size, even the God Exalted would be startled when they saw it. But the Undead Eye is not just scary. Lin Mo, who is a third-order God King, the Undead Eye is enough to obliterate the soul of a fifth-order God King. The Undead Eye swept over the indifferent and ruthless Golden Eagle clan battle formation with undead flames. The golden arrow suddenly stopped in midair, then collapsed. The Golden Eagle clansmen in the battle formation clutched their heads and howled in pain, their expressions twisted and agonized. Some Golden Eagle clansmen with weak souls were frozen in place, their souls obliterated, and they died on the spot. To deal with a battle formation, besides using absolute power to smash it, soul attacks are the best method. The eye of the undead swept over the Golden Eagle clansmen, then turned to gaze at the three Silver Clans battle formation. Ah! A scream rang out, and the three Silver Clans battle formation also couldn't withstand the gaze of the eye of the undead, collapsing with a bang. The three divine sovereigns looked at this scene in disbelief, unable to believe that Lin Mo could be so strong. The genius on the wanted list, led by Finks, was even more stunned. How could he be so strong? How could he possibly be so strong? Impossible, we are all geniuses, how could the gap be so big? Thoughts flashed through their minds one by one. They were all geniuses, but the gap between them was too great. Lin Mo looked at Finks with a smile. It's your turn. Lin Mo's smile scared Finks out of his wits. Retreat, he shouted sharply, retreating frantically. His voice was already weak, he was really scared. He could be ranked first on the Vermilion Bird Starfield human race wanted list, fight across 3 levels, and be called the #1 genius of the demon race in the Vermilion Bird Starfield. He never took human geniuses seriously. But today, Lin Mo completely destroyed his confidence. Seeing Lin Mo easily destroy the battle formation with his own eyes, Lin Mo's terror left a deep mark in his heart. He no longer dared to fight Lin Mo, he just wanted to escape now and let the Divine Sovereign kill Lin Mo. As soon as Finks retreated, the others also retreated frantically. They were also scared to death by Lin Mo, and didn't want to fight this monster again. You can't escape. Lin Mo pressed his palm down, and an invisible aura flew out of his body, instantly covering a large area of void, covering Finks and others. Finks suddenly found that the world he was in had changed. Bones were everywhere, and bones were everywhere. Gray flames were burning all around, and many enemies without specific appearances appeared around. Then his body tightened, and a huge squeezing force fell on him, as if to crush him. Out of instinct for survival, Finks began to counterattack frantically. The skeleton hell covered 100,000 kilometers of void, not only including Finks and others, but also the surviving allied forces of the 3 races. From the battle formation launching an attack, the Skeleton King and the Eye of the Undead appeared one after another, the whole process happened in a flash. The total time added up was less than 2 seconds. The speed and rhythm of Divine King level battles are terrifyingly fast. Unless the strength is evenly matched, it can last for days and nights. If it forms a crush, life and death are in an instant. Stop. The 3 divine sovereigns took action one after another in a roar. If they didn't take action again, not only Finks and others would die, but the allied forces of the 3 races would also be slaughtered. Lin Mo's combat power completely exceeded their expectations. The Divine King Tier 3 can actually display the combat power of the Divine Sovereign Realm. Zero ask for fresh flowers. With their eyesight, they could naturally see that the Skeleton King was a spell, not a puppet. This is the terrifying thing, if it was a puppet, it wouldn't be so scary. This also strengthened their determination to kill Lin Mo. They also defaulted in their hearts that Lin Mo was very likely to become the second Xiao Zontian. Absolutely can't let this kind of person grow up, otherwise it will be a huge danger to other races. The three of them acted almost at the same time, with great understanding. The demon race and the golden eagle race, who were originally enemies, completely abandoned their previous grudges at this moment and killed the enemy together. Three huge galaxies emerged from the void. One galaxy burns with hellfire, blooming with black and red light. This is the Hellfire Law Galaxy from the Demon Divine Sovereign. The other galaxy is golden and dazzling, making it impossible to look directly at it. The golden light turns into sharp arrows, and there seem to be countless golden eagles flying in the river. The last galaxy flickers with silver light, and the waves roll, which looks the most ordinary. If you look closely, you will find that the silver light of the waves is all composed of silver snakes. These silver snakes merged into one, turning into silver giant pythons. The three law galaxies poured down towards Lin Mo, wanting to devour Lin Mo. The power of the Divine Sovereign is difficult to resist. The skeleton hell shattered in response, and Lin Mo, who was in it, groaned and was swallowed by the law galaxy. In the next breath, the skeleton king rushed into the law galaxy, and then rushed out again. Lin Mo stood on the white bone of the skeleton king's palm, his whole body shrouded in purple light. The attacks of the three divine sovereigns directly shattered his defense and activated his talent. He was reborn under the effect of his talent, but his eyes were extremely clear, and even with a hint of a smile. Looking at the three divine sovereigns, finally locked on. The skeleton hell covered the starry sky before, and also covered Lin Mo. The three divine sovereigns broke the skeleton hell, but at the same time the skeleton hell also planted a mark on them. Anyone who is marked by the skeleton hell can be locked by Lin Mo's soul and is difficult to escape. This is the effect Lin Mo wanted. He risked using a chance to resurrect to lock the three divine sovereigns, just for a fatal blow. Didn't die. If this sun is not eliminated, there will be endless troubles. If this sun grows up, our three races may face extermination in the future. His eyes are not good. The three of them felt a thump in their hearts when Lin Mo's eyes swept over them. Then they saw three pieces of remnant corpses and flesh appearing in Lin Mo's hand. The flesh also exuded the aura of a divine sovereign. This is the flesh and blood of the divine sovereign. Long. Chapter 1432 Did I let you die? The three divine sovereigns had a bad feeling in their hearts, and a powerful soul sent a danger warning. Terrible. The three of them realized the danger at the same time, and also felt the soul lock from Lin Mo. They reacted extremely quickly, and the Law Galaxy appeared around them, enveloping themselves. Under the cover of the Law Galaxy, it is impossible for a Divine King Realm cultivator to use his soul to lock himself. A Divine King Realm cultivator cannot enter the Law Galaxy, so there is no question of locking himself. But after they entered the Law Galaxy, the danger in their hearts still existed, and the soul lock still existed. What the hell? The three of them panicked, and had never encountered such a thing. Immediately afterwards, everyone heard a loud noise. The loud noise came from their own bodies. Before they could check the source of the sound, their consciousness was already falling towards the endless darkness. Dead. How did you die? The last thought was a useless question, and Yang, 290, would never get an answer. Before the yellow sand desert, Lin Mo obtained 3 portions of godly venerate flesh. They were from the nightmare godly venerate, the flame demon godly venerate, and the stone demon godly venerate. Using these 3 portions of flesh as ignition material, and with the mark of the bone hell, he firmly locked onto the 3 godly venerates before him, allowing each of them to enjoy the effect of corpse explosion once. The effect was excellent, none of the 3 blocked the corpse explosion, and they were killed on the spot. The godly venerates who were still full of vigor a second ago, turned into 3 piles of rotten corpses, floating in the silent void. I didn't suffer a loss. Lin Mo smiled. 1 for 1, the effect was excellent, not a losing trade. Finks and the others were already pale with fright. Godly venerates died just like that. These were godly venerates, 3 godly venerates. Even if they were just low-level godly venerates, they were still godly venerates. Lin Mo was only a 3rd-level godly king. No matter what means he used, he couldn't possibly defeat a godly venerate, right? They were afraid. They were really afraid. They didn't even have the thought of escaping. The starry sky was sealed, teleportation items couldn't be used, they were trapped, and with Lin Mo's speed, it was enough to kill them one by one. Finks suddenly realized something. Lin Mo, you deliberately released the news. Lin Mo smiled. This way I can wipe you out in one fell swoop, otherwise it would be too troublesome to find you one by one. Because it was too troublesome, he released the news to lure them in. Everyone was on each other's must-kill list, everyone wanted to kill the other. Lin Mo's approach was understandable. Finks laughed, his laughter was chilling. Lin Mo, we lost this time, but you can't kill me. His whole body's aura rolled, his body suddenly swelled, obviously about to self-destruct. Did I let you die? A cold voice sounded, then a red light flashed above his head, a curse descended, and the eye of the undead simultaneously stared over. An unbearable pain came from his soul, his mind went blank, and Finks' self-destruction was forcibly interrupted. Double soul attack, although it couldn't kill Finks, interrupting spells was no problem. Here, Lin Mo controlled life and death, without his permission, even suicide was impossible. Moreover, even if they died, they might not be able to escape Lin Mo's control. Everyone was desperate. Finks endured the pain and let out a final roar, scatter and escape, save whoever can. His words were for all the coalition forces of the three races. Although the coalition forces of the three races had already collapsed, there were still more than 8,000 people alive. If they scattered, Lin Mo couldn't possibly catch them all back. Lin Mo chuckled, pressed his palm, and the bone hell emerged, covering 100,000 kilometers of void. Then the fire and starlight flickered behind him, the flame lich and the starlight lich appeared at the same time. The two of them were responsible for filling in the gaps. In case there were any fish that escaped the net, they were responsible for killing them. Coupled with the extreme speed brought by the light speed lich, he guaranteed that not a single one could escape. The godly venerates were dead, and to deal with these guys, Lin Mo didn't need to use his full strength at all. He didn't even dispatch the undead legion, nor the Buddha Kingdom lich. Many of the demons in front of him were clones. After they died, they would bring a lot of information back to their main bodies. Lin Mo couldn't expose all his strength. In the previous battle in the Yellow Sand Desert, Lin Mo had already exposed a lot of information, but at the same time, the demon race also knew that Lin Mo's strength was inferior to that of the godly venerates. So this time, they dispatched the godly venerates, thinking that it was foolproof, but they didn't expect to capsize completely. This shows that it is very necessary to keep some trump cards. Slaves haunted the bone hell, and the gray, wonderful spirits launched a fierce attack on the coalition forces of the three races. The entire hell was full of flames, and gray undead flames flew out from the sky, the ground, and all directions. Undead flames, for living beings, contained amazing corrosiveness, and were extremely similar to the power of death of the undead law. The coalition forces of the three races struggled in the bone hell, stepping into death step by step. They died in the bone hell, their souls were captured by the real hell, and from then on they became slaves of the bone hell, unable to escape for all eternity. Even if they died in the bone hell, they would be resurrected in the real hell and reappear in the bone hell. The bone hell was like a projection of the real hell in the real world, terrifying. Lin Mo didn't need to care about the battle anymore. More and more godly kings in the coalition forces of the three races died, and one by one they turned into slaves, turning around and attacking their former comrades. What is this? Why can they be resurrected after death? Why are they attacking us after resurrection? What kind of spell is this? I have never seen this kind of spell, it's too terrifying. Screams were heard incessantly, coming from the bone hell. Finks' face was pale, he realized his ending. He tried to escape from the bone hell, but with the starlight lich there, under the influence of the illusion, he had no chance. He couldn't even self-destruct, his life and death were not his own. Lin Mo, I curse you to die a terrible death, you will die even more miserably than me. Finks issued the most vicious curse. Lin Mo smiled, not caring at all, you are not the first person to curse me, nor will you be the last. Finks roared again and again, making a final struggle. With the ebb and flow of strength, the progress of the battle became faster and faster, and after half an hour, it came to a complete end. In the bone hell, there was an additional army, consisting of the demon race, the golden eagle race, and the silver snake lineage of the three silver race. They looked like they were not dead, still full of vigor. But they all lost their color, from head to toe, from inside to outside, they were all gray. The power of hell reconstructed their bodies that were exactly the same as before they were alive. Lin Mo tried to get them to form battle formations, but failed. They retained many of their spells, realms, and powers from when they were alive, but they did not retain the ability to construct battle formations. Strictly speaking, they were already dead and no longer living beings. Lin Mo thought about it and probably had a guess. They belonged to the army of hell. Even if they were to form a battle formation, it would have to belong to the battle formation of hell. Does the battle formation of hell exist? Lin Mo had no doubt about this question at all. Battle formations must exist, but he just hadn't mastered them yet. Putting away the bone hell, looking at the silent void, the three floating corpses of the godly venerates. Lin Mo's thoughts moved, and two balls of undead flames popped out, covering the demon race godly venerate and the golden eagle race godly venerate. Then let you dogs bite dogs. With a slight raise of the corner of his mouth, Lin Mo's killing intent was awe-inspiring. Chapter 1433. This child is a leader. The undead flames burned fiercely, and the two godly venerates were resurrected in the flames. Becoming resurrected, the two godly venerates prostrated before Lin Mo. Their expressions were extremely respectful and pious. They faced Lin Mo as if they were pilgrims. An order was uttered from Lin Mo's mouth, and the two immediately obeyed and quickly left. Lin Mo ordered the demon race godly venerate to go to the area where the human race and the golden eagle race were fighting, and to slaughter the golden eagle army. And the golden eagle race godly venerate went to slaughter the demon race. And Lin Mo told them not to fight the others godly venerates, but to kill those below the godly venerates. Not seeking to kill elites, but seeking to kill many. This war is almost over. The 4-star region competition is coming soon, and the human race also needs a stable environment. Lin Mo thought in his heart. He knew that part of the reason why the human race launched this war was because of him. Using himself as bait, to lure out those 2 5-grade spies lurking in the human race and clean them up. Although it's impossible to eliminate them all, at least most can be cleared out. He also used the same method to lure out those on my bounty list, helping me complete my tasks. Seemingly without any direct interaction with me, he actually did a lot to help. However, once a war starts, ending it is not up to the human race alone. Lin Mo Yu understood the higher-ups' intentions. To return the favor, he did what he could to become the one to end this war. The demon and golden eagle races failed to kill him, and their divine venerables suddenly betrayed them, leading to a rare failed alliance. Naturally, this war could not continue. It seemed that in a few days, the two races would voluntarily retreat. The human race could also use this opportunity to withdraw its troops and halt the war in the Vermilion Bird Star region. By now, those traitors who emerged should have also been purged. In short, the human race would be the ultimate victor in this war. Lin Mo Yu collected the corpses of the 3 silver race divine venerables and left Area 8-88. He found the outpost in the vast void and teleported back. As soon as he returned to Fortress 8, Lin Mo Yu saw Zhu Qiwu. Zhu Qiwu looked at Lin Mo Yu with a serious expression. "You really didn't die." The way he said that, Lin Mo Yu really wanted to retort. But he glanced at the people behind Zhu Qiwu. They were the commander of the Thunder King Legion of Fortress 8 and 2 divine venerable realm elders. Of course, all 3 of them understood Zhu Qiwu's words, suppressing their laughter while looking at Lin Mo Yu. Lin Mo Yu silently swallowed back his words, thinking to himself, "I'm a magnanimous person, I'll give you face, this time I'll let it go." He had clearly seen the smile in Zhu Qiwu's eyes. This old fellow was obviously saying it on purpose. Lin Mo Yu gave Zhu Qiwu a lot of face, cupping his fist in salute. "Thanks to Senior's blessing, this junior didn't die." Zhu Qiwu grunted. "What about those guys?" Lin Mo Yu said in a low voice, "All killed. The specific information is recorded in the battlefield token." Zhu Qiwu nodded in satisfaction. He turned to the commander of the Thunder King Legion behind him and said, "Prepare to launch the final battle. Attack with full force and let them know whose fist is hard and big enough." "Yes, sir." The commander of the Thunder King Legion immediately accepted the order and left with the 2 elders. Zhu Qiwu said, "Let's go, we'll go back. Tell this old man the details of what happened." Lin Mo Yu's actions were very important. His approach would influence the human race's higher-ups' subsequent actions. This war was largely launched for Lin Mo Yu's sake. There were casualties in the war, and the human race would pay a considerable price. Launching a war for one person might result in the deaths of thousands of warriors. It seemed unworthy, but in reality, it was very worthwhile. The human race needed geniuses, truly top-notch geniuses. Once those geniuses grew into absolute powerhouses, no amount of sacrifice would be too much. Similarly, this time Zhu Qiwu knew that Lin Mo Yu was going to Area 8-88, but he did not intervene. Lin Moyu needed to face this danger himself because in the future, Lin Moyu would face even more dangerous situations, and he couldn't be present every time. If Lin Moyu died, then their operation would be considered a failure. The whole process was very complicated, constantly weighing the pros and cons, constantly making calculations of gains and losses, so complicated that even Zhu Qiwu felt a headache. Lin Moyu recounted his experience. When he mentioned the arrival of the 3 race-allied forces and the simultaneous assassination attempt by 3 divine venerables, Zhu Qiwu truly sweated for Lin Moyu. It wasn't until Lin Moyu slaughtered them all and resurrected 2 divine venerables, sending them to attack each other. Upon hearing this, Zhu Qiwu's eyes flashed with brilliance, looking at Lin Moyu with praise. Zhu Qiwu asked, "How did you think of having them attack each other?" Lin Moyu smiled slightly, "The war was launched for me, so it should be ended by me. Once the dog-eat-dog mode begins, this war will also come to an end. As for whether Senior wants to appropriately stop, let them off the hook, or use thunderous means to beat a drowning dog, that's all up to Senior's discretion." Zhu Qiwu's expression of satisfaction became even stronger, and he praised repeatedly in his heart. He remained calm on the surface, but in his heart, he praised Lin Moyu all over, using all the words he could think of. What is called a genius? Lin Moyu is the real genius, an even more talented person than Xiao Sheng. Xiao Sheng's combat power is very strong, but he is a little lacking in strategy. After Xiao Sheng grows up, he can become a qualified warrior, but he is not suitable to become a marshal, unable to truly lead the human race like Xiao Zhantian. But Lin Moyu is different. Lin Moyu is not only more powerful in combat, but also extremely intelligent. Throughout the entire process, he never told Lin Moyu anything. Unexpectedly, Lin Moyu guessed their intentions through some simple information. I ask, among the human race, how many people can guess their true purpose? Even Xiao Sheng, who once had the title of human race's star, could not do it. Especially at the end, Lin Moyu resurrected 2 divine venerables, which can be described as a stroke of genius. In this way, the entire war can end in a dog-eat-dog situation. The human race can retreat unscathed, and the first cooperation between the demon and golden eagle races will completely collapse. Zhu Qiwu couldn't help but think in his heart, this child has the talent of a leader. In the backyard of the trading center, Yu Zhu sat alone in his exclusive pavilion, his brows tightly furrowed as he examined past records. Their Yu family had a long heritage, with detailed records of events that occurred in the great world throughout the ages. Yu Zhu listened to Lin Moyu's words, released the information, and also knew what Lin Moyu wanted to do. At the same time, Lin Moyu also explained to Yu Zhu why the human race had to proactively launch a war in the Vermilion Bird Star region, and it was still at the time of the 4-star region competition. Yu Zhu listened in a daze, understanding but not fully understanding. But she also felt that such things seemed vaguely familiar, as if she had seen them somewhere before. So after Lin Moyu left, she began to consult the family's records. After searching for a long time, she finally found a clue. 872 years ago, Xiao Sheng emerged out of nowhere and was hailed as the star of the human race. Xiao Sheng was also listed as the top target on the must-kill list of various races, and countless people wanted to get rid of him. Also before the 4-star region competition, the human race proactively launched a war. In that year, Xiao Sheng used the second-order realm of the Divine King to reverse-kill the enemy's 5th-order Divine King, severely injuring the enemy's 7th-order Divine King. Finally, he protected his life from the pursuit of the demon race's Divine Venerable and was rescued by the human race's Divine Venerable. That war lasted for a year, and it only ended half a year before the 4-star region competition. It almost caused the 4-star region competition to be unable to proceed normally because of that war. After analysis, that war was deliberately launched, and its purpose was. After reading the information, Yu Zhu's eyes glowed like stars, with admiration. Captain, how did you guess it? Chapter 1434. This is really something a human could do. Back at Fortress 1, Lin Moyu put on his mask again and changed into Kai Huo's appearance. Zhu Qiwu looked amused. You kid also has times when you're afraid. Lin Moyu shook his head. To be precise, it's afraid of trouble. It seems that you are quite familiar with this concealment mask. That's good. Sometimes you do need to be a little aloof and not show your face easily. Maintaining a sense of mystery is good for you. Lin Moyu nodded. I understand. Zhu Qiwu chuckled. You understand again. I maintain a sense of mystery, and you help promote it, publicize my deeds, so that I can gain more power of faith. Lin Moyu stated his thoughts. Zhu Qiwu remained noncommittal, neither admitting nor refuting. Lin Moyu knew that he had guessed correctly. People are like this. The more low-key and aloof you are, the more mysterious others will think you are, and they will admire you instead. When all your information is exposed, it will backfire. Zhu Qiwu brought Lin Moyu to the core of the fortress. The war was concentrated in the areas of Fortresses 5, 6, 7, and 8. Fortress 1 was located on the periphery and was not affected. Based on wartime requirements, defensive capabilities were increased, with several large armies constantly patrolling outside the fortress. Inside the fortress, a warning formation was activated, capable of detecting any approaching enemies immediately. At the core, Ke Yuanjin had received Zhu Qiwu's message long ago and had been waiting for quite some time. Although the entire operation was verbally described by Lin Mo, the final judgment still needed to be made by the Human Emperor Network. Lin Mo's kill records were all stored in the battlefield token, and the Human Emperor Network would automatically review them and calculate the corresponding military merits. If what Lin Mo said was true, this operation would be a significant contribution, resulting in astonishing military merits. Not to mention anything else, just killing 3 divine sovereigns would amount to a large number of military merits. Ke Yuanjin led the 2 through the fortress, arriving at its center. Lin Mo had been here once before, so it wasn't unfamiliar. In the center of the fortress was a huge round table, over 10 meters in length, capable of seating many people. Zhu Qiwu naturally walked to the head of the table and sat down, saying to Ke Yuanjin, "Activate the formation." Close corner bracket. Ke Yuanjin hummed in agreement, casually waving a rune. Complex and profound runes flickered and shone in the room, quickly enlarging and landing on the table. A magic circle immediately appeared in the center of the table, followed by a huge jade ball with a diameter of over 1 meter rising from below. The jade ball glittered, with a large number of runes also appearing on its surface. At that moment, Lin Mo felt the aura of the Human Emperor Network become stronger. Although the Human Emperor Network covered Fortress No. 1, its strength was far inferior to that of the human race starfield. The difference in strength also meant a difference in the capabilities of the Human Emperor Network. In Fortress No. 1, the Human Emperor Network could only maintain some of the most basic functions. In Fortress No. 1, Lin Mo could not enter the virtual world of the Human Emperor Network at any time, nor could he go to the Human Emperor training ground. Only under special circumstances would the Human Emperor Network concentrate its power to enable some unnecessary functions. For example, the last time Lin Mo fought in a ring, the Human Emperor Network would strengthen its power to provide a virtual world for viewing. But similarly, the cost was the collection of points, as there was a price to pay for increasing power. But at this moment, Lin Mo had the illusion of returning to the human race starfield, as the power of the Human Emperor Network became very strong. Obviously, there was a price to pay for doing so. The operation of the entire formation would consume energy from the fortress. But the fortress could afford this consumption. Zhu Qiwu said, "Put your battlefield token in." Lin Mo followed his instructions and placed the battlefield token on the table. The formation held the battlefield token in the center, and then a beam of light shone directly on it. The formation began to operate, and the battlefield token shone brightly. Immediately afterward, a 3-dimensional image was projected onto the table. An strange star appeared in the picture. "This is the strange star in Area 8-88, Lin Mo said, slightly stunned. He even saw himself on the strange star. He didn't expect the battlefield token to have such a function, recording the surrounding images like a shadow stone. The battlefield token seemed to contain a significant secret. At this time, Zhu Qiwu chuckled and said, "Don't guess, the battlefield token doesn't have the function of recording images, it can only record some basic information. What you see is the Human Emperor Network reenacting the scene based on this basic information." Lin Mo suddenly understood, so that's what it was. No wonder it was necessary to strengthen the Human Emperor Network. It turned out that it was to make the Human Emperor Network do this kind of thing. Reenacting the scene and restoring the entire battle based on basic information required a great deal of power. In the picture, the strange star was shining, and then there was nothing else, it was just shining. Lin Mo realized that Zhu Qiwu was right, the battlefield token only recorded some basic information. The Human Emperor Network then reenacted the scene at that time based on this basic information. But it was only a picture, and the Human Emperor Network could not reenact the real changes of the strange star. At the same time, the Human Emperor Network could not know what opportunities Lin Mo had obtained. In the picture, the strange star was shining, and Lin Mo's aura on the star was gradually becoming stronger, and his realm was improving. The picture was fast-forwarded, and a day's time was only a few minutes here. Lin Mo had reached the second level of the Divine King in a few minutes. The battlefield token recorded Lin Mo's upgrade, but it didn't know how he upgraded. The Human Emperor Network didn't know, but Zhu Qiwu knew. Lin boy, you got a lot of benefits from the strange star. Lin Mo said, I have some insights. You should have checked my records in the Vermilion Bird Starfield. There was also such a star in the Vermilion Bird Starfield. I reported it at that time. Zhu Qiwu did check it. Lin Mo did rely on the strange star to improve his realm in the Vermilion Bird Starfield at that time. More than 10 minutes later, Lin Mo's realm improved again, reaching the third level of the Divine King. At this time, the joint army of the three races arrived in the picture. 9 of the top 10 people on the reward list came, along with a million-strong joint army and 3 divine sovereigns. Ke Yuanjin frowned slightly. He felt a headache just looking at this scene. Although the cultivation of the 3 divine sovereigns was far inferior to his, he put himself in Lin Mo's shoes. If he dealt with it with the strength of the third level of the Divine King, he would definitely die. Moreover, the void was locked, the teleportation props were invalid, and he couldn't escape even if he wanted to. He didn't know how Lin Mo dealt with it and how he counter-killed them. He didn't know Lin Mo's true strength, and he didn't understand Lin Mo's perverted spells, so he couldn't think of a solution at all. Only Zhu Qiwu said, boy, did you enjoy killing them? Lin Mo also sat down at this time. It's okay. In the picture, Lin Mo left the strange star, and the battle was about to break out. The battlefield token didn't seem to have the ability to record sound. Lin Mo didn't know if it was true or if the Human Emperor Network didn't release it. Moreover, the process of the battle was not completely accurate, but it could be said that the accuracy reached more than 80%. But this was enough, basically able to restore the entire battle. Next, Ke Yuanjin appreciated a breathtaking battle. Lin Mo was covered in golden light, punching one punch after another, forcibly smashing those divine kings on the reward list to death, and these divine kings were all higher in cultivation than Lin Mo. Until the end, Lin Mo summoned the Skeleton King, destroyed the battle formation, and instantly killed the 3 divine sovereigns. Ke Yuanjin was so shocked that he couldn't speak, and his heart was tingling. Is this really something a human can do? Chapter 1435. This spell is a bit interesting. Ke Yuanjin felt a tingling in his heart, and he looked at Zhu Qiwu from time to time. He thought, did Zhu Qiwu give Lin Mo some treasure that allowed Lin Mo to complete the reverse kill? Unfortunately, Zhu Qiwu didn't show anything, and he didn't get any useful information, but he couldn't ask about this kind of thing. It made Ke Yuanjin feel like ants were crawling in his heart, itchy and uncomfortable. Lin Mo finished watching the entire process, and he had a deeper understanding of the battlefield token. The battlefield token does record a lot of information, and the Human Emperor Network can use this information to reenact the scene and finally restore the picture at that time. The picture was indeed restored, but some things could not be restored. For example, some of his spells. The Skeleton King had been used in the Human Emperor Network before, which was equivalent to being filed. The Human Emperor Network already had the data of the Skeleton King, so the Human Emperor Network could accurately restore it. But like the corpse explosion, there was actually no information about it in the Human Emperor Network, so the Human Emperor Network could not restore it. Especially the Bone Hell, there was no shadow of the Bone Hell in this replay. It was not clear how the joint army of the 3 races was finally killed. In the picture, Lin Mo released a spell, but the Human Emperor Network could not restore this spell. Obviously this spell did not exist in the huge database of the Human Emperor Network. Strangely, Lin Mo entered the watching mode after releasing this spell and stopped attacking. The joint army of the 3 races seemed to be fighting with an invisible enemy, and then they were killed. That's enough. Upon Zhu Qiwu's instruction, Ke Yuanjin immediately understood and stopped the replay. The screen went dark, but the formation continued to operate. The tallying of Lin Moyu's military merits continued without interruption. However, the subsequent proceedings no longer required the intervention of Zhu Qiwu and Ke Yuanjin. Zhu Qiwu inquired, "Your new art seems quite remarkable." Lin Moyu replied with a smile, "I'll demonstrate it for you in a moment." Zhu Qiwu nodded. You don't have to demonstrate if you don't want to, it's your secret. Lin Moyu immediately shook his head. How could I keep secrets from you? He thought to himself, if I don't demonstrate, how will I satisfy your curiosity? Having interacted with Zhu Qiwu for some time, Lin Moyu had come to understand him quite well. He knew that if he himself was curious, Zhu Qiwu's curiosity was no less intense. Perhaps at Zhu Qiwu's level, he had already gained knowledge of most things, and worldly secrets were few. It was precisely this that made his curiosity all the more profound. Ke Yuanjun finally couldn't contain his inner doubts. Lord Protector, did you bestow some treasure upon him? He had been pondering how Lin Moyu managed to kill the 3 god sovereigns. No matter how he contemplated it, he couldn't understand it, and ultimately deemed it impossible. God sovereigns were not so easily killed, especially with instant kills. Even if he were to take action, killing 3 wouldn't be difficult, but instant kills would be challenging. Zhu Qiwu chuckled. There were no treasures involved, Lin Boy killed them himself. He didn't directly answer Ke Yuanjun. He was content with his own curiosity and didn't feel the need for others to know. Zhu Qiwu further reminded him, don't speak of this to others. What I can tell you is that, given the right opportunity, Lin Boy could also kill you. Ke Yuanjun abruptly looked up at Lin Moyu, seemingly in disbelief. He was a 7th order god sovereign, a true high-level god, far more powerful than those 3. Yet Zhu Qiwu was saying that Lin Moyu could kill him. A 3rd order god king killing a 7th order god sovereign seemed like a complete fantasy. However, Zhu Qiwu's words compelled him to believe. At the same time, Zhu Qiwu's words also carried a warning, cautioning him not to speak of this to others and to refrain from further inquiries. The light from the formation gradually dimmed, and the battlefield token, which had been floating in midair, returned to the table. With a slight mental command, Zhu Qiwu caused the battlefield token to automatically fly back into Lin Moyu's hand. That's settled. The Human Emperor Network will conduct a final verification, and once it's complete, the rewards will be credited to you directly. Let's go, I have some things to discuss with you. Yuanjun, remember what I said earlier, don't leak Lin Boy's information. Also, your disciple is currently undergoing treatment, there might be a chance. The last 2 remarks were a combination of a warning and a subtle benefit. Ke Yuanjun, a seasoned individual with over a millennium of experience, understood the meaning behind Zhu Qiwu's words and immediately responded, Lord Protector, rest assured, I understand the rules. Zhu Qiwu led Lin Moyu away, arriving at an empty void outside the fortress. With a wave of his hand, Zhu Qiwu unleashed an invisible law, sealing off this area of the void. Lin Moyu knew that Zhu Qiwu's realm had reached the peak of God Sovereign, only half a step away from breaking through, and his abilities were beyond the reach of ordinary God Sovereigns. His every action carried a hint of turning the impossible into the possible. Beyond God Sovereign was another realm, one that Zhu Qiwu had already touched upon. To seal off a large area of the void so lightly and silently was something that ordinary God Sovereigns couldn't accomplish. Now that only the 2 of them remained, Zhu Qiwu spoke directly, what is your new art? An art that even the Human Emperor Network couldn't replicate, indicating it was entirely new and unprecedented, piqued Zhu Qiwu's curiosity. Lin Moyu smiled and gently pressed down with his palm, instantly summoning the Bone Hell. The Bone Hell enveloped a 10,000-meter radius of the void, filled with bones and the ceaseless eruption of gray flames from above and below. Within the Bone Hell, gray slaves wandered aimlessly. When there were no targets, they were like walking corpses. But when targets appeared, they would transform into beasts and launch deadly attacks. Zhu Qiwu sensed the aura of the Bone Hell and observed the slaves wandering within. His curiosity was stirred, and he exclaimed in amazement, this art is quite interesting. These are all wondrous spirits, and there are demons, golden eagles, and 3 silver clan members. Are they simulated by the art? Apart from being entirely gray, they seem no different from living beings. Zhu Qiwu could only see the surface of the art but couldn't perceive its inner workings. Lin Moyu then gave Zhu Qiwu a general explanation of the Bone Hell. He didn't reveal everything, concealing the Bone Hell's ability to mark enemies. In Lin Moyu's view, marking enemies was the Bone Hell's most powerful function. He had no shortage of offensive means, whether it was the Undead Legion, the Skeleton King, or Corpse Explosion, all of which were far more aggressive than the Bone Hell. Even in terms of numbers, the Undead Legion could overwhelm the current Bone Hell. The Bone Hell's greatest strength was its ability to mark targets for attacks. Once marked, they couldn't escape Lin Moyu's soul lock, allowing him to use corpse explosion to target them. Although Lin Moyu concealed the marking function, the other functions alone were enough to shock Zhu Qiwu. It can actually turn the dead into slaves. In that case, if you could kill a few god sovereigns inside, wouldn't you have god sovereigns protecting you? Lin Moyu replied, that's true, but there are many limitations. First, the bone hell can't trap god sovereigns, and its range is limited. Even if I turn a god sovereign into a slave, they can only move within a limited area. This would greatly diminish the god sovereign's effectiveness, making them better suited as materials. Zhu Qiwu nodded, what you say makes sense. He carefully sensed the aura within the bone hell, but his brow suddenly furrowed, becoming increasingly tight. Chapter 1436. Half a foot into the other shore. Zhu Qiwu's brow was deeply furrowed, forming a figure 8. His expression was extremely complex as he continuously examined the bone hell. After several seconds, he finally spoke, bone hell, it's connected to hell. He seemed to be talking to himself, connected to hell. Connected to hell. Zhu Qiwu repeated the phrase, closing his eyes. Lin Moyu didn't interrupt, but he felt curious. He wondered what Zhu Qiwu had seen. The information he had received about the art did say that the bone hell's power came from a real hell. It was precisely because of the magic and power of a real hell that the dead could be turned into slaves. But Lin Moyu thought that a real hell might just be a figure of speech, not necessarily a real place. However, looking at Zhu Qiwu's current appearance, Lin Moyu couldn't help but wonder, could it be that hell really exists in this world? Is it related to the demon clan's earth lineage? Lin Moyu chuckled to himself, feeling that he was overthinking things. Suddenly, a peculiar aura emanated from Zhu Qiwu. The aura wasn't strong, but it was very unique, something Lin Moyu had never seen before. Lin Moyu saw a thin line, like smoke or mist. The line swayed before his eyes, reflecting starlight and changing into various shapes and colors. Lin Moyu watched the line with curiosity. He felt that this inconspicuous line seemed to contain a great secret. The line twisted before his eyes, eventually slowly forming a knot. At the moment the knot was completed, the entire void experienced a very slight tremor. The tremor was so subtle that most people wouldn't even notice it, but the resulting reaction was quite intense. The bone hell shattered like glass, and along with the bone hell, the space itself shattered. Cracks appeared in the void, densely packed, followed by a soft bang as space collapsed. Lin Moyu was covered in purple light, his eyes filled with astonishment and lingering fear. Just a moment ago, the undead legions within the Soul World spell constellation had collectively collapsed. They collapsed 6 times in a row, and then his own death directly triggered his talent. He was reborn because he had a talent. If it were someone else, they would have died by now. Even if a god venerable, like Ke Yuanjin, had been standing there, they would have died all the same. The attack came silently, faster than lightning, almost traceless. Lin Moyu couldn't even react. Fortunately, the attack only happened once. If it had been continuous, Lin Moyu felt he would have had no choice but to die. It would have been a great injustice to die at the hands of Zhu Qiwu after surviving the 3 race alliances scheme. Lin Moyu looked at Zhu Qiwu, wondering if he should stay away from this guy. He was too dangerous. Hee, kid, my move was pretty good, right? Zhu Qiwu's voice suddenly echoed in his soul, laced with amusement. Lin Moyu suddenly realized that Zhu Qiwu had done it on purpose. His lips twitched a few times. Senior, that's not good. Zhu Qiwu chuckled, you can't die anyway, I was just testing it out. Lin Moyu forced a smile, what if you had lost control? Zhu Qiwu opened his eyes, 2 beams of light shooting out, lost control. How could I lose control? Lin Moyu didn't want to argue with him, what happened to you just now? He clearly felt a change in Zhu Qiwu's aura. He was originally at the peak of God Venerable, the strongest among God Venerables, but still within the God Venerable realm. That God Venerable aura was very obvious, just more powerful than any other God Venerable. But now, Zhu Qiwu's aura had become ethereal, veiled in a layer of mystery. For a moment, Lin Moyu couldn't understand it. He had some guesses, feeling that Zhu Qiwu had comprehended something extraordinary. Zhu Qiwu chuckled, I've taken the most important step, 1 foot is already on the other shore. The other shore? Lin Moyu asked, what is the other shore? Zhu Qiwu was in a very good mood, haven't you always wanted to know what comes after God Venerable? That's the other shore. But that's all I can say. Many things can only be understood when you reach that level yourself. Knowing too much now will do you more harm than good, it will become a shackle on your progress. Lin Mo Yu understood somewhat, but he firmly remembered the other shore. Lin Mo Yu murmured in his heart, after God Venerable is the other shore. He congratulated Zhu Qiwu aloud, "Congratulations, senior, on stepping onto the other shore and achieving your wish." Zhu Qiwu shook his head, "I've only taken a crucial step, I haven't truly arrived at the other shore yet. I was able to gain this understanding thanks to your bone hell, I'll remember this favor." Lin Mo Yu shook his head, "This junior didn't do anything, it's because of senior's deep accumulation." Zhu Qiwu waved his hand, interrupting Lin Mo Yu, "Whether you did anything or not, I know it in my heart. There's cause and effect, I'll remember this matter." He was somewhat domineering, and Lin Mo Yu didn't say more. Seeking fresh flowers. A powerhouse about to surpass God Venerable and step onto the other shore saying he owes you a favor, you'd be happy. He was just being polite earlier. Lin Mo Yu didn't expect his bone hell to have such an effect, but thinking about it, it was because Zhu Qiwu's accumulation was deep enough. He was only a little short, and now that he suddenly had some understanding, he took that step. Zhu Qiwu's mood became brighter. How many old guys have been trapped at this step for thousands of years, until they died without breaking through? Compared to them, I've won this time. When I get back, I'll make sure to laugh at these guys, I want to see their faces. I want to see who it was who told me back then that I could never reach the other shore in this lifetime. Lin Mo Yu listened quietly, guessing the identities of the old guys Zhu Qiwu was talking about. 0. The people who could be called old guys by Zhu Qiwu not only had to have strength, but also be older than Zhu Qiwu. Especially the sentence, "When I get back." Where to go back to is self-evident, naturally back to God City. Lin Mo Yu thought of that mysterious person, presumably someone who had truly stepped onto the other shore. Moreover, after stepping onto the other shore, one can't just casually enter the great world, there would be many restrictions. The ancient Buddhas of the Buddhist race should also be at the same realm. So after Zhu Qiwu steps onto the other shore, he needs to go to another place. Lin Mo Yu asked, "When will senior leave?" Zhu Qiwu shook his head, "It's hard to say, although I already have one foot on the other shore, I still need some time later. Maybe a few years, a few decades, or maybe just a few months. But no matter what, before truly stepping onto the other shore, I still have some things to do." Speaking of this, Zhu Qiwu's body rose with killing intent. The killing intent was as sharp as a sword, and Lin Mo Yu's skin felt a little sore. The killing intent materialized, and Lin Mo Yu didn't expect Zhu Qiwu's killing intent to be so strong. Zhu Qiwu hadn't shown it at any time before. Lin Mo Yu realized that the so-called things Zhu Qiwu was talking about should be killing people. As for who to kill, Zhu Qiwu was already strong in combat power, and now he has half a foot on the other shore. In the case where those big figures don't take action, who can stop Zhu Qiwu? Lin Mo Yu said loudly, "Then I wish senior all the best." A very cliched blessing, but it made Zhu Qiwu laugh loudly, "Good, all the best." The killing intent became even stronger, turning into countless sharp swords, cutting apart the void. Chapter 1437. The person hasn't aged, but the heart has aged first. When Lin Mo Yu returned to Fortress No. 1, he was still thinking about the scene just now. Zhu Qiwu shattered the starry sky silently, completely surpassing the God Venerable realm. God Venerables also have the strength to break the void, but that can only be accomplished when God Venerables go all out. Even some weaker God Venerables can only crack the void a little. But Zhu Qiwu did it lightly without any fanfare. The gap between the two is self-evident. Lin Mo Yu believes that Zhu Qiwu is already invincible in this battlefield. It is difficult to find a second enemy who can compete with him. Unless the big figures above take action, otherwise no one can stop Zhu Qiwu. Senior Zhu is going to kill people next, but there should also be restrictions. There must be restrictions, otherwise those big figures would take action at will, and it would have been a mess a long time ago. Lin Mo Yu thought in his heart and walked into the mission center. He came to hand in the mission, hand in the 4th battlefield, 913, mission, and at the same time take the 5th battlefield mission. The trilogy in the second series of missions, the first part has been completed, killing an enemy in the top 10 of the reward list, he killed 9, overfulfilled. The second part, 5 battlefield missions, is still one short, there will be no problem. The third part is to accumulate military merit. This part will be settled when he leaves the battlefield. In Lin Moyu's eyes, the serial mission was already complete, only waiting for him to leave the battlefield. He just didn't know if there would be a third serial mission. The serial missions that each cultivator comes into contact with are different. The serial missions are for entering the city of gods. Depending on each person's performance, it may be necessary to complete several serial missions. It may also be enough to complete only 2 serial missions. How many to do is decided by the Human Emperor Network. Standing in line, Lin Moyu arrived at the counter. The staff member behind the counter was a pretty and charming female cultivator, with a petite figure and a lovely appearance, like a doll. She was very young, and her realm was only Transcendent God realm. When she saw Lin Moyu, the doll's face showed panic, and she exclaimed, "What are you going to do?" Obviously, she was frightened by Lin Moyu's current appearance. Accurately speaking, she should have been frightened by Kai Huo's appearance. Lin Moyu, wearing Kai Huo's appearance, showed a friendly smile, turning in the mission. However, this smile, which he thought was kind, looked like a grin in the eyes of the doll, even more frightening than when he wasn't smiling. The doll tried to calm down, realizing that this was the mission center, and the other party couldn't possibly do anything to her, muttering, "Turning in the mission is turning in the mission, why so fierce?" Lin Moyu was stunned for a moment, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. Had he been fierce? He handed over the battlefield badge and took out 20 crystal cores, 10 gray crystal cores, and 10 white crystal cores. The doll took the battlefield badge and connected to the Human Emperor Network. At the same time, a beam of light fell from the roof, shining on Lin Moyu. The first step of the Human Emperor Network was to verify identity. The doll showed a strange look. Why don't you have a name?" In the information she saw, there was no name displayed. The Human Emperor Network hid the other party's name, which made her feel puzzled. She had never encountered such a thing. The little girl was very young, and her eyes did not know how to hide her feelings. Lin Moyu asked, "Is there any problem?" She seemed to be frightened by Lin Moyu again. No problem. She was really afraid of Lin Moyu's appearance, and quickly checked the other information. Except for the name being hidden, there were no problems with the other information. Then she immediately completed the formalities and returned the battlefield badge to Lin Moyu, saying repeatedly, "Okay." Taking the battlefield badge, Lin Moyu grinned at the doll. "Thank you." The doll felt that Lin Moyu was going to eat someone. That big mouth was too big and too scary. She quickly said, "You're welcome, goodbye, I wish you all the best." Saying polite words, her appearance was like sending away a plague god, hoping that Lin Moyu would leave quickly. After Lin Moyu left, the doll breathed a sigh of relief, patting her chest. "Too scary, how can there be such a scary guy? It feels like he wants to eat people." Lin Moyu found it funny in his heart. His last grin was just to deliberately scare the little girl. Now that he thinks about it, it seems that the other party's age is older than his. He is only about 35 years old now, and the other party's transcendent god realm is probably over 100 years old. But psychologically, he really doesn't know how much older he is than the other party. What a strange feeling. Am I aging in my heart before I age physically? The God King realm can live for at least 5,000 years. As cultivation increases and the realm improves, life expectancy can be even longer. Especially like Lin Moyu, whose physical body has also reached the God King realm, and has even achieved the God King golden body, his life expectancy will only be longer. He is only 35 years old now, and he hasn't even lived 1% of his life, but his whole mentality is already very mature. People in the great world, when they are 35 years old, are still learning cultivation on the planet of life, and have not even truly fought against people in actual combat, let alone any life and death struggles. In the cultivation system of the great world, only after reaching the transcendent God realm can one be considered a true cultivator, and will one personally experience the cruelty of the world. But in fact, there are many transcendent gods who are still only performing some simple tasks, and are well protected by the Human Emperor Network, and do not know what danger is. In Lin Moyu's eyes, this kind of transcendent god is like a child who hasn't grown up. Thinking about when he was in his 30s, he was already fighting in life and death. The 4th battlefield mission is complete, and he is going to prepare for the 5th battlefield mission. Lin Moyu waited at a mission platform, and was about to start looking for a mission when he suddenly heard a familiar prompt. The Human Emperor Network sent a message. Completed the mission to kill the top 10 on the Vermilion Bird Star Region bounty list, reward 10,000 mission points. Exceeded the mission to kill the top 10 on the Vermilion Bird Star Region bounty list, reward 190,000 mission points, 2 contribution points. Killed the 3 race allied forces, reward 10,000 military merits. Killed 3 god sovereigns, reward 100,000 military merits, 5 contribution points, 2 military supply points. 4 messages popped up in a row, rewarding Lin Moyu for his mission and killing enemies. In total, he obtained 200,000 mission points, 110,000 military merits, 7 contribution points, and 2 military supplies. Both the mission points and military merits have exceeded the upper limit of ordinary missions. Lin Moyu knew that it was mainly because he had done too perfectly. The mission only required killing any one of the top 10 on the bounty list, but he killed 9 of the top 10 all at once. There was still one flying python race member who hadn't come. If he came, he would kill him too. This also directly led to a collective change of people on the human race bounty list in the Vermilion Bird Star region. Those who originally couldn't rank in the top 10 are now all rising in rank. I don't know if those guys should be happy or sad. Killing the 3 race allied forces rewarded 10,000 military merits, which is actually a lot. The role of military merits far exceeds that of points. 10,000 military merits are worth hundreds of thousands of points. Killing 3 god sovereigns directly rewarded 100,000 military merits. Compared with mission point rewards, military merit rewards are more generous. After all, they are god sovereigns. Normally, only god sovereigns can kill god sovereigns. Lin Moyu relied on his own strength to cross realms and reverse kill god sovereigns, so the rewards are naturally generous. Finally, there are 7 contribution points and 2 military supplies. Having experienced the benefits of both, Lin Moyu deeply felt that these 2 rewards were better than any points or military merits, and were more practical. If he was willing, he could now use 1 contribution point plus 1 military supply to directly exchange for a replica of the War God Fortress. Its value is immeasurable. Chapter 1438. Special Mission Without Points. After receiving the rewards, Lin Moyu checked his personal information through the Human Emperor Network. Lin Moyu, Glory 1st Rank Colonel. Age: 35. Level: God King 3rd Order. Soul: 4th Grade Peak. Potential Evaluation: Legend. Highest Authority: Level 4. Comprehensive Strength: Lesser God Sovereign. Owned Points: 851,850. Owned Military Merits: 178,676. Contribution Points: 12. Military Supply Points: 3. Human Emperor Cultivation Field Time: 3,500 days. Mastered Laws: Undying Law, Slaughter Law, Lightning Law. Lin Moyu looked at his information, thoughtfully. The military rank has been directly promoted, is there no promotion mission? Find a chance to ask, how can there be no promotion mission? According to Lin Moyu, military rank promotion requires not only fulfilling military merit requirements but also completing promotion tasks. Previously, when he was promoted from soldier to non-commissioned officer, he had performed a promotion task. But this time, he directly became a colonel, which is really strange. Continuing to check the information, Lin Moyu found that the Human Emperor 01 network's description of him was quite accurate. His actual combat power was indeed only at the level of a lesser god Venerable, still far from a true god Venerable. The Human Emperor network did not raise his combat power to the god Venerable realm just because he had killed 3 god Venerables. It was estimated that Zhu Qiwu's analysis also played a part, as Zhu Qiwu was very clear about his situation. Task points have reached 850,000, 150,000 away from level 5 permission. Level 5 permission requires 1 million task points. For most cultivators, it would take hundreds of years, even centuries, to complete through hundreds of tasks. However, Lin Moyu only used a few years, relying on repeatedly over completing tasks and obtaining extra rewards, gaining several times, or even more than 10 times, the points rewards compared to others. At this rate, it wouldn't be long before he reached level 5 permission. He could definitely be called one of the cultivators in the human race who has upgraded permissions the fastest. It had been a while since he checked his information, and he was quite satisfied after reading it this time. A slight smile appeared on the corner of his mouth, revealing a man-eating smile, as he muttered to himself, "Let's take a look at the tasks." There was still one last battlefield mission, and with less than 2 years until the 4-star region competition, he should be able to make it. Opening the task list, Lin Moyu searched for tasks. With his cultivation reaching the 3rd stage of God King, the number of tasks he could accept had increased. In fact, the God King realm could already accept most tasks, with very few restrictions. As his cultivation continued to improve, the number of tasks would increase further, but for the total amount, it was already a minority. Starting with the lowest level True God Realm tasks, a large number of tasks were listed in front, totaling tens of thousands. Lin Moyu directly skipped those True God Realm tasks, only looking at the God King Realm tasks. Checking the tasks one by one, almost none of the tasks he saw had any difficulty. The reward points were also between 10,000 and 20,000. Points are often linked to the difficulty of the task. Before accepting a task, although you can't see the specific information of the task, you can infer the difficulty of the task through the reward points. Lin Moyu performed a second screening, only selecting tasks with high points. The task list was greatly reduced, from tens of thousands of tasks to less than 200. Choosing one out of 200 tasks was much easier. Oh, the points for this task are actually unknown. Suddenly, Lin Moyu saw a peculiar task. The reward points for this task were displayed as unknown. If the points are unknown, it means the difficulty is also unknown. The task is fixed, which means the task rewards will vary depending on the completion. There is no lower limit, but I don't know if there is an upper limit. The area where the task is executed is in 9 to 58, the 9th war zone, which is very close to the central 10th war zone and is an area where high-level God Kings operate. This task is very special. The task in front of him not only had no specific reward points but didn't even have a task name. The information given only stated that the task area was in the 9th war zone, area 58, numbered 9 to 58. According to the battlefield numbering rules, war zones 1 to 10, with 10 being the most central and vast area, were also the most dangerous areas. Generally speaking, those active in the 10th war zone were peak God Kings, lesser God Venerables, and some God Venerables. The 9th war zone was the closest to the 10th war zone, and the danger inside was also considerable, belonging to the area where high-level God Kings operate. This task in the 9 to 58 area was obviously not easy. Generally speaking, those who accepted this task were high-level God Kings. Lin Moyu was only at the 3rd stage of God King, and although he had the authority to accept this task, he generally wouldn't do so. Lin Moyu didn't accept it either. He wouldn't accept the last task casually. This task might be related to the overall evaluation of a series of tasks. Although he had confidence in his strength, confidence wasn't arrogance, and Lin Moyu wouldn't mess around. After locking onto this unknown task, he looked around again, found a few backup tasks, and Lin Moyu left the task center. Walking on the road leading to the trading center, passers-by cast sidelong glances at Lin Moyu, then quickly avoided him. As long as Lin Moyu cast his gaze over, most people would immediately turn their heads, not daring to meet his eyes. Especially some female cultivators, who hid faster than anyone else. Ugly and fierce, looking like an evil spirit, Lin Moyu was unimpeded on the road and smoothly entered the trading center. The front of the trading center was originally quite lively, but at the moment of seeing Lin Moyu, some people stepped back, making way. Arriving at the central counter, he saw Yu Qing. Yu Qing was still in a daze, spending almost half of her time in a daze, truly quite idle. Lin Moyu gently knocked on the counter twice, pulling Yu Qing back to her senses. Then a scream came from Yu Qing's mouth, attracting countless gazes. Lin Moyu curled his lips, wondering if using Kai Huo's appearance was a bit too much. But that guy's appearance was indeed deeply rooted in people's hearts. Once seen, it would never be forgotten. He himself had firmly remembered it back then. Yu Qing covered her mouth with one hand and pressed her chest with the other, her small face slightly pale. "Mr. Lin, are you trying to scare me to death?" Lin Moyu smiled, "Is Yu Zhu still in the old place?" Yu Qing nodded, "Yes, you can go directly." "Okay." Lin Moyu was already a regular customer, heading straight to the backyard. In the backyard pavilion, Yu Zhu received the news and knew that Lin Moyu was coming. She immediately replaced all the old tea with new, brewing iced tea. Ever since being burned by the stellar essence fire for the first time, Yu Zhu would use iced tea whenever Lin Moyu came. Once bitten by a snake, 10 years afraid of well rope, this sentence was vividly reflected in Yu Zhu. Lin Moyu smelled the tea fragrance wafting from the pavilion from afar, saw the beauty in the pavilion, and walked in generously. At the same time as entering the pavilion, he put away the concealment mask and restored his original appearance. Yu Zhu chuckled, "Captain still looks better in his own appearance." Lin Moyu sat down, took the tea handed by Yu Zhu himself, and got straight to the point, "Looking for you to sell something." Yu Zhu's eyes lit up, "Really, Captain has gained something again." Lin Moyu took a sip of tea and took out a few things, indeed a little gain. Chapter 1439, Breaking the Trading Record Again. 3 storage treasures were placed in front of Yu Zhu. Yu Zhu's beautiful eyes suddenly widened, and even her voice trembled slightly. "God Venerable Realm, Captain, did you kill a God Venerable again?" Lin Moyu hummed softly, "By chance, killed 3. "What do you mean by killing 3 by chance? What kind of chance can kill a God Venerable?" Yu Zhu couldn't help but roll her eyes at Lin Moyu. "Captain, have you ever heard a saying, excessive humility is pride?" Lin Moyu didn't think so, "Just telling the truth, call your sisters over, there are a bit many things this time." The 10,003 race coalition army, each one was an elite of the God King realm, how could the wealth on their bodies be small? Lin Moyu had high standards, he didn't like the materials of the God King realm. He had already searched the storage treasures of the 3 God Venerables in advance, and did not find any God Venerable realm treasures and materials. In addition to the previous 3 God Venerable legacies, it can prove that not all God Venerables are rich. It is said that most God Venerables are still using God King realm treasures, which seems to be true. Not only were there no finished treasures, but there were not many God Venerable realm materials. Even if there were, they were the kind of relatively poor God Venerable realm materials, not qualified to summon elemental liches. However, Lin Moyu was also afraid that he would misjudge, and had told Yu Zhu in advance that if there were excellent materials, she should tell him, and he would decide whether to sell or not. 5 transaction masters were called over by Yu Zhu, beauties gathered together, a pair of big eyes curiously looking at Lin Moyu. This was not the first time they had come. Each time only when encountering super large-scale transactions, would multiple transaction masters act together. The handsome man in front of them brought a scale of transactions that exceeded imagination every time. If it weren't for the rules, they would also like to have an in-depth transaction with Lin Moyu. Lin Mo took out all kinds of storage treasures, but only a portion of them. If tens of thousands of storage treasures were taken out at once, they could explode this pavilion. The pavilion fell silent, and the inventory officially began. One by one, items were taken out of the storage treasures and then thrown into the transaction panel for valuation. Several transaction masters were extremely busy, working non-stop. Whenever a portion of the storage treasures was reduced, Lin Mo would take out another portion, as if there was no end. As for the legacy of the God Venerable, it was naturally handed over to Yu Zhu for processing. Yu Zhu handled it very carefully, and the valuation was very accurate. After 2 full days, the 5 transaction masters finally completed their work and left the pavilion with some fatigue. Yu Zhu first took a big sip of tea before saying, "Captain, everything has been calculated clearly." For 2 days, Yu Zhu had been working non-stop without eating or drinking, and she was quite tired at this time. However, there was excitement in her eyes, as the transaction points for this time broke the record again. From Yu Zhu's expression, Lin Mo had already guessed the result, but he remained calm. "Thank you for your hard work, just tell me the result." Yu Zhu said, "According to the rules, we rounded up the numbers, and the total is 320 million points." Lin Mo nodded. This number was actually not that much, after all, it was the legacy left by tens of thousands of God King realm experts. He even felt that it was a bit low, thinking that these guys were really poor. At this time, Yu Zhu took out an item, which was a bracelet, a woman's bracelet. Yu Zhu said, "I found this bracelet in the storage treasure of a God Venerable realm expert. It was placed in a corner, very hidden. Based on experience, I can judge that this is a good thing, from the starry sky fish people race. But I can't determine the specific level. The bracelet was made of some special kind of shell, with intricate patterns engraved on it, looking very exquisite." Lin Mo could feel a not weak aura from the bracelet, but the aura was blurry, and he couldn't determine what level of treasure it was either. But it was certain that this was indeed a treasure belonging to the starry sky fish people race. The things of the starry sky fish people race are very special, even if they are obtained by other races, it is difficult to use them. That god Venerable was probably the same, unable to use it after obtaining it, but reluctant to throw it away, so he threw it into the corner of the storage treasure. Yuzu couldn't estimate the price of this bracelet, so she kept it. Lin Mo put away the bracelet. Okay, I'll take care of it. If he happened to meet Yu Qingru in the future, he could give the bracelet to her. After all, keeping it on himself was useless. The transaction ended, and Lin Mo obtained 320 million points, bringing the total number of points on his body to 660 million. Yu Ju's eyes narrowed into crescent moons. Captain, you are definitely the richest among all the god kings, not just god kings, but richer than most god venerables. With so many points, do you plan to buy any materials? Lin Mo smiled slightly. Are there any god venerable realm treasures for sale? Yu Ju's small face stiffened, and she immediately lost her smile. There are, but 600 million points are not enough. Even if I give the captain a discount, it's not enough. Lin Mo laughed. Just kidding, I want to buy some information, do you have it here? In fact, Lin Mo could also ask Zhu Qiwu for information, believing that Zhu Qiwu would not refuse. But Lin Mo still wanted to do what he could do himself. The Yu family should have information about various regions, and their information channels might be related to the military. Even if it's not as detailed as what Zhu Qiwu has, the difference shouldn't be too much. Moreover, most of this information can probably be traded. Buying and selling transactions was originally the Yu family's old business. Lin Mo didn't think of this at first, but later Yu Zhu told him that even intelligence information could be bought and sold, and he thought of this. Yu Zhu said, What area of information does the captain need? The prices of information for different areas are different. If it's just some ordinary areas, I can decide to give them to the captain as a gift. Lin Mo said casually, Area 9 to 58. Yu Zhu was stunned for a moment, then revealed surprise, Area 9 to 58. Captain, are you also taking on this mission? Lin Mo looked at Yu Zhu. Do you know about this mission? Yu Zhu nodded as a matter of course. Who doesn't know about this mission? It's the most special of all missions. The mission details are unknown, the mission rewards are unknown, only an area is known. Every time someone takes on this mission, they come to us to buy information. Unfortunately, we Li Jiaos don't have much information about this mission either. Lin Mo became more and more curious. Even the Yu family didn't have information about this area. Has the uniqueness of this mission reached this point? Lin Mo knew the rules of the Human Emperor Network. Even if the mission was completed, the mission's strategy could not be made public. But private communication was still no problem. For example, some not particularly important information could be sold to the Yu family, and the Human Emperor Network would allow it. But now it seemed that the Yu family didn't have much information about Area 9 to 58. Yu Zhu took out a jade token. Here is all the information we Yu family have about Area 9 to 58. Lin Mo asked, how many points? Yu Zhu shook her head. No points needed, only one request. If the captain takes on this mission and completes it, I hope you can come back and tell us some information. It's not a mandatory requirement, whether to tell or not is up to the captain. First 1440th chapter. The second god of war, just like this. This kind of transaction method shows that the Yu family really has very little information. Lin Mo spent less than a minute to read all the information. There was no substantial content in it. Most of the people who took on this mission returned safely, but the missions all ended in failure. A few people encountered danger in the mission and never returned. In the Yu family's information, there were only 3 people who completed this mission. But these 3 people said nothing. And not long after, all 3 died unexpectedly. Yu Zhu said, Captain, do you have to take on this mission? Lin Mo thought for a few seconds and shook his head. It's not that I have to take it on, I'm just curious. Yu Zhu breathed a sigh of relief. I still suggest that the captain not take on this mission is too strange. Lin Mo chuckled. I still want to buy something. Do you have some historical data from the battlefield? Yu Zhu nodded vigorously. Of course we do. Our Yu family has records of all the major and minor events that have happened in the battlefield over the years. Lin Mo said, how is this sold? We have clear price tags. Events that happened in the last 100 years cost 10,000 points. For every additional 100 years, add 10,000 points. From 1,000 years ago, for every additional 100 years, add 100,000 points, and so on. And we guarantee that the information we sell is cheaper than the Human Emperor Network. The captain also knows that most of the information can be found in the Human Emperor network, but it also costs points. As for those free basic information 977, I think the captain won't be interested. Moreover, some of the information we family have is not even available in the Human Emperor network. Lin Mo calculated that if he wanted to view the information from 1,000 years ago, he would need 100,000 points. After that, for every additional 100 years, he would need to add 100,000 points. If he wanted to view the information from 2,000 years ago, he would need to pay 1 million points. If it was information from 2,100 years ago, the price would reach 2 million points. 3,000 years ago, it would become 10 million points. The older the information, the more expensive it is. Lin Mo can understand this kind of pricing method. And Yu Zhu is right, even in the Human Emperor network, these information require payment of points to view. As for the free public information, Lin Mo has seen almost all of it. Lin Mo thought for a while, let me see the information from 2,000 years ago first. Yu Zhu nodded, no problem. Saying that, she took out a jade token. The major and minor events that have happened in the Vermilion Bird battlefield in the last 2,000 years are recorded in it. But the captain cannot take it away, you can only view it here, the maximum viewing time is 10 days. Lin Mo took the jade token, and with a movement of his soul power, he began to view it. A large amount of information poured in. Lin Mo felt like he had entered a library. The information inside was vast and boundless. Nearly 2,000 years of events, large and small, are recorded inside, with an astonishing amount of information. For an ordinary god king with a third-grade soul, it would be difficult to finish reading all this information in 10 days. Fortunately, Lin Mo's soul is powerful, allowing him to read at an astonishing speed. Lin Mo doesn't care much about the points. Not to mention 1 million points, even 10 million or 100 million points would be fine, as long as he can find the answer he's looking for. His main concern is that if the era is too distant, the amount of data would be enormous, and it would take a lot of time to review. But if the time is too recent, it's very likely he won't find the answer he needs. He had previously heard Zhu Qiwu say that he was going to do something big, but he wouldn't tell him what the so-called big thing was. Since you won't say, then I'll find the answer myself. A period of 2,000 years is just right, with a high probability of finding the answer he needs. If he can't find it, then he'll continue to look further back, and he'll eventually find it. Lin Mo checked the information, not letting go of any events, big or small. He knew that many major events are actually hidden in some minor events. Finally, he discovered some clues. 1832 years ago, a mysterious powerhouse arrived at Human Race Fortress number 10. Along with this mysterious powerhouse were several human race god sovereigns, but these human race god sovereigns were all corpses. The mysterious powerhouse killed several human race god sovereigns and brought their bodies to Fortress number 10. For the human race, this was a trampling of their dignity. In the end, the mysterious powerhouse had a great battle with Zhu Qiwu, who was guarding the battlefield. No one knew the result of the battle. Eventually, the mysterious powerhouse retreated, and Zhu Qiwu remained motionless and silent for the next 500 years. Seeing this information, Lin Mo guessed that Zhu Qiwu must have been injured. And the most crucial thing is that the corpses of the several human race god sovereigns that the mysterious powerhouse brought were not left behind, but were taken away again. In other words, Zhu Qiwu did not leave the bodies of those human race god sovereigns behind. It was as if the other party came to provoke the human race, slapped Zhu Qiwu in the face, and then retreated calmly. With Lin Mo's understanding of Zhu Qiwu, this was even more unbearable than killing him. Could it be that Senior Zhu is going to avenge the arrow from back then? Senior Zhu should have already reached the peak of God Sovereign at that time. To be able to make Senior Zhu suffer. Thinking of this, the answer is already very clear. Only someone who has half a foot into the other shore can make Zhu Qiwu, who is at the peak of God Sovereign, suffer. Lin Mo knew that Zhu Qiwu was very strong. Even among those at the peak of God Sovereign, Zhu Qiwu was one of the best. But he still couldn't beat the opponent. Those who have truly entered the other shore cannot casually take action, so the strongest are those who have taken half a step into the other shore. Now Zhu Qiwu is truly standing in the ranks of the strongest. As long as he hasn't truly stepped into the other shore, then no one is his opponent. Lin Mo breathed a long sigh of relief, finally understanding what Zhu Qiwu was going to do. He was going to avenge the hatred of that day. he was going to get back the face he had lost back then. But now that he thinks about it, Zhu Qiwu is indeed powerful, able to save his life in the face of such an opponent. If it were any other god sovereign, they would probably already be dead. Lin Mo wouldn't think that the other party would show mercy and not kill Zhu Qiwu. There must have been some reason why they had to let Zhu Qiwu go. Or rather, Zhu Qiwu also had a trump card that was enough to cause both sides to suffer, or even die together. After getting the answer he wanted, Lin Mo felt that his 1 million points were well spent. Then he seized the time to finish reading the remaining information. 1,000 years is actually a very short period of time for the battlefield. The history of the battlefield can be traced back to ancient times. In such a long period of time, not much actually happens in 1,000 years. The only thing worth paying attention to is Xiao Sheng's rise. After entering the battlefield, Xiao Sheng overcame obstacles, constantly fighting beyond his level and across realms, creating brilliant and shining achievements. At that time, Xiao Sheng was in the limelight and was hailed as the star of the human race. At that time, Xiao Sheng had an arrogant personality and was very high profile. Until hundreds of years ago, Xiao Sheng suddenly disappeared, but the topic about him continued for decades before fading away. Not many people know where Xiao Sheng went, but Lin Mo is one of them. Lin Mo knew that it wouldn't be long before Xiao Sheng would returning as a god sovereign. Finally, in the information from recent years, Lin Mo saw his own information. The second war god. Seeing the description of himself, Lin Mo revealed a smile. Is that all?